out.
Well, there's a lot of people that are off their nut.
Are we live?
Just went live.
I just got an AI message, something about.
There's no AI switched on here.
No, it's probably Zoom again. I mean, hey everybody!
Oh my god, go away with that new bot.
But that what?
The new box that appears at the top to tell you this is gone live.
Yeah, I got the AI message instead of that one.
Oh, yeah.
I keep getting one that says if you can't hear, turn your volume up. Like I can hear just fine.
Paul goes live, everyone gets a different message.
Let me get the link up there.
Well, you might have been first in the chat, Laura, but you weren't first on here.
Technically, Paul was first on here.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long after Paul was on Zoom that I turned up.
Pretty quick.
But I just clicked the link and it went, Paul is here. I was like, oh.
There's times where I beat Paul in here. I'll just be sitting there and not be sitting on waiting for host to start.
Yeah, we've had that a few times, haven't we, Laura?
Yeah.
I just put it off to the side, and then all of a sudden I'll hear Paul out of nowhere. Hey,
I've got to film a video.
Hey, Mark. Hey.
Mark.
Oh, God. DJ's here.
DJ,
get back to work.
Oh, Laura, I'm going to have to wash my hair, aren't I?
Yes, you've got to go and wash your hair.
I tipped a whole bottle of hand sanitizer on my head earlier.
why?
Because of that pigeon.
There's a pigeon sat on his head.
Yes, TJ. He said, "Hello, everyone." Is that better, Justin?
Hello, TJ. Say hello one by one.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them, TJ.
Hi, T. I-E. I-E. I-J.
You didn't do his full name.
hey Mark, how's it going?
Even I got to the point where it was like that's pretty boring now.
Yeah, TJ, how's it going? How are things? Are you working today, TJ, or are you got the day off? Sometimes he's at work when he checks
It's
in.
-2 here as well, Mark. I don't know what the feel like is.
-5.
Get back to work, TJ.
TJ said he didn't want to work anymore.
Yeah, he's at work.
Yeah, okay.
Laura, one of the pears fell out the tub.
What?
One of the pears fell out the tub.
Okay, so you've eaten it.
Oh, I'm not eating it yet. I'm going to.
Yeah, I've been putting plenty of Walgreens, TJ. They're not the busiest stores for sure. They can be quite dull in there. Actually, the pharmacy is your most probably busiest area.
Yeah, most of Walgreens have a drive-through, and a lot of people, especially this kind of time of year, and they just go to the drive-through and pick up their prescriptions or drop them off.
Yeah, every time I've been in a Walgreens, most people you see in there are usually in the pharmacy area.
Yeah.
The pharmacy is their big money maker for sure.
So, Paul, I might as well tell you because I've told everyone else. As you know,
I'll be back.
I took Laura out for food.
Yeah.
In the cafe. Got shot on by a pigeon.
Yeah, I saw that. You put that in the chat.
Yeah. I just stepped out of the bus station to talk to the bus driver, and it got me right on the head.
What did the bus driver say?
He was laughing. So was Laura. And then, after I cleaned put all the hand sanitizer on my head and cleaned my head. The pigeon was sat there going, "Can I have some of your sandwich?"
Well, he was looking for his reward because he's a Top Gun shooter.
I was driving down the road one day, I had my arm out the window and a bird shit on my arm.
It's supposed to be a sign of good luck, but it
Nah,
wasn't
it's
good luck to me.
a sign of a parasite or something getting in your body. Bird shit is some of the nastiest stuff you can get on you. Especially bat shit. Like guano is really dangerous. You
So
gotta be
anyway,
really careful around that.
we went to Chelmsford, took Laura for a meal into this nice cafe, brand new cafe. She had fish and chips. I had lasagna. And after our food, I cleared the table, took the tray away, turned round, started walking with this woman that I thought was Laura. You know, easy mistake to make. She had her run up like Laura does. Got to the door.
She had her what, like Laura?
A hood.
Oh,
On
her
a-
hood.
We got to the door, and the woman pushed the door instead of pulled. So she walked into the door,
Into the door.
right? So I suddenly, thinking it was Laura, I went, "Pull, you stupid cow." And this woman looked around at me. I was like, "Oh, shit."
Wrong cow.
You're lucky she didn't slap the hell out of you.
Well,
At least over here, girls would take really offense to you if you called them a cow. Oh my god.
she probably thought it was an electronic door and she just walked into it, because
The term cow is used quite frequently over here.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Make sure if you ever visit the US, don't call a chick a cow.
Put that on your table because it keeps falling out my pocket.
We're not going to get some food.
What kind of food?
I don't know.
I'd
Food.
have to go to Tesco's. So the place open.
Kebab fan.
I'm not walking to the kebab van. I'm not that hungry.
Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Not really what you got.
I went to Tesco's this time like yesterday.
David was just telling us how he had a shitty day.
I'll
Up, Lance.
bring someone while walking there.
I heard he was trying to pick up women.
Yeah, well, what he does is he pins them between the door and him, so
My
He yells obscenities at him.
and yells obscenities at him, calls them cows.
Joe, what would happen if you called a woman a cow over here?
But I was just about to say I wouldn't go well.
That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't do that over here. What's up, Donald
Hey, Donald.
and Lance?
We'll both pop out quickly.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't mind walking to Tesco's. I did it yesterday. Just let me put an extra layer of warmth on.
DJ's at work, Joe. That's why I said, hey,
Yeah. We don't want to get him laughing. Not at work.
Find it.
Well, I don't know. I would like to have that on camera to see what the other people did,
I want to say one time he was on his phone at the register when he was working at that liquor store. He was fucking in
Hey,
a gig
Dominic.
fit with one of the customers.
Good evening, all. I'm
I'm
back.
big.
Right.
Where is everybody?
So, if this is my eyes, Dominic's Zoom, or he's actually
Yep.
got hair growing.
A what?
You got hair growing.
What have I missed?
He says,
Look
are
what's
you
up with his
growing
hair.
hair, Dominic? On
No,
top,
I-
you can see a couple little tufts up there.
Oh, okay. I'll have to clean that up then.
Oh, I think it's fine. Do whatever you want to do, but
Let it grow. I think you'll look great with a ponytail.
we
Yeah.
but David couldn't tell if that was a new crown or something.
Dude, Dominic with a ponytail, he'd look like an Australian Steven Seagal.
Written here.
That's what I told Matt he looks like when Matt puts his fucking sunglasses on. He looks-
Oh, really?
yeah, he looks like the Wish version of Steven Seagal.
Actually, the Americans won't know who this is, but
Well,
I look like with long hair. I look like Bill Bailey.
you haven't.
No. I need to get something to it.
English comedian.
Some Lucasade.
TJ said I do get in giggling tantrums,
Mhm.
tangents at work sometimes too.
Good one, my ball. Don.
You want anything on the
No, I'd rather go Tesco's.
back in a minute?
No worries. Oh, okay. That's good, my ball. Yeah. I always expect you to know that sort of thing, Don. You seem to have a little bit of a British influence. Jody?
Yeah, he's definitely into foreign films. And
Yeah, he
British
seems to
TV
know a
shows.
lot of British comedians as well. So yeah.
Black Books was a great show he was in. What's up, Jody?
Now that is a great comedy. If you've never seen it, watch it.
What's the name of?
Comedy. Who wants to
Black
laugh?
Books.
Hey, Rod.
No comedies around here. We can't get to laughing or TJ like fall over dead.
Yeah, well, TJ's at work. He'd probably get fired.
Mm.
Well, that too.
We'll go, Ron.
Take his giggle show on the road.
Yep.
So how's the weather down there, Rod? It's snowing like up here.
It warmed back up today. It was cold yesterday. Warm as in 60s. Let me look at UAV forecast right a second. How warm is it? It's 64 right at the moment. And I think it's supposed to be roughly the same tomorrow. And then Saturday morning, well, there's a cold front coming through late tomorrow. Saturday morning, we'll be back down in the upper 30s. And then Sunday, we'll probably bounce back up. I don't know. Let me look at the 10-day forecast.
Yep. Okay.
It's kind of how it works down here in Florida. You guys get that cold snap up there. We get it for like a day, maybe 2 days max. Yeah, we're supposed to be 71 tomorrow, and then 52 and 53 on Saturday and Sunday for highs.
71. That's what we're getting.
Yeah, 71 here tomorrow.
Shit.
Yeah, the storms, the front's coming through, so it's pulling the winds out of the south, so it's gonna warm us up. And then the weekend's gonna be, well, kind of cold for us.
Okay. It's 61 here.
Lucky you.
And we're in September.
Summer.
Sorry,
Yeah.
All right.
January. Okay, you do that.
Okay, Justin, you got it?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
We got you. Good luck.
It's a bright colored tanker, and I'd like to get it in the dull sky.
Yeah. Good luck. Happy flying.
What's up, Dusty?
Big Contrast.
Dusty.
I walked out around lunchtime. Guy said, well, I'm gonna fly to Avada for a little bit. Walked outside and it started pouring down.
Don't you hate that?
I haven't flown in 2 weeks. And I'm like, it's getting me upset.
It's been dark and drizzly here all day, off and on. Like
I
rain.
hate that. We've had 9 months of that.
I don't know. I feel like I've gotten more rain here in the past couple weeks than we did in
Don,
the summertime. It seemed like it was kind of dry.
the link is posted at the top of the chat, Don.
I
Well,
think that was a rhetorical question, Dominic.
Yeah, well, mine was a rhetorical answer then.
Mhm.
the FBI and CISA finally released some of their security related concerns around
Mhm.
drones, not just Chinese drones in general.
In general. Okay.
And this is
Now, is that consumer drones
ironically,
or the
this
larger
is
ones?
this is all the stuff that I kept trying to tell people who were going, there is no security. You can't blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you people need to shut the fuck up, because unless you've been in the security industry, you have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Seriously. It irritates me. And I was doing this crap in the military 20 some years ago. We were doing this exact same stuff. And it's interesting, the recommendations. Let me sort of show you the article or pieces of the article. They're talking about drones and how DJI owns 90% of the market, blah, 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 dominance, and, you know, the distribution of even mini drones, right? So here's what they're kind of talking about, looking at the risk. You know, the reality is those things collect data, right?
Yeah.
And
Everything
I'll
does
give
these
you a
days.
big hint of what data
There you go, Donald.
that they potentially want to go after. Everybody remember the Chinese balloon that flew over the US?
Yep.
What did we find when we went and recovered that damn balloon? What did we find?
Lots of shit.
Yeah. What was all in it? Antennas all over the freaking place.
Yep.
What were they doing? It's called signal intelligence. SIGINT is what they were doing. They were trying to collect signals and frequencies and frequency bands and trying to find out where our military is talking, what channels we're talking on, all those kinds of things. Now imagine the drone in the air. That thing's got some chips on it to collect signals. It knows where it's at because it's got a GPS, so it knows it may be near a military base or some other thing. They're not trying to take pictures. Taking pictures was never the fucking security problem with the drones. It's about them potentially slipping something into the software to use the drones for signal intelligence that you may or may not would know any damn thing about. And here's the other piece of it. There's even more to this. And I guess let me get down to mitigating the threats, and I'll kind of explain a little bit of this. So obviously part of it is integrating drones into the cybersecurity structure. One of the problems with the enterprise drones is they all come with those controllers. Those controllers are not monitored or managed by a piece of software from the US government to control security on them, which means they could auto install anything, whether DJI intended to or not intended to. If DJI got hacked, they would be a problem. And this is why this article specifically says it's not just a DJI problem, it's a drone problem as well. Here's the big one. This is one that I told somebody a week ago about, is putting those things on separate networks. So the other thing, think about this from a capability thing of what this thing is. This thing has Wi-Fi on board, right? So here's something else they could do from a SIGINT perspective. They could literally be using their Wi-Fi to look for access points and trying to find out what network IP addresses might be there. What do you think bad guys around the world want? They want to know what servers are where and kind of what your infrastructure looks like. Hello, you got a flying drone that connects via Wi-Fi and multiple things that potentially could be used for trying to do networking mapping. The other part of this, and this is what I told somebody else, if you take one of those devices and you're on a military base, right? You're now potentially inside the firewall from the internet because you're on the base and inside. So if DJI or the Chinese slip something in there, now they're behind our firewalls. So from a security standpoint, that is risky, right? Even if it's Skydio, because Skydio could get hacked, but the threat is fucking real. I don't care whether it's in the I don't care whether the threat is there today and they're doing it. And I thought of an analogy today for everybody that hopefully will make this sink in. You know, if you have a farmer and he leaves the barn doors open and he's got his cows in there, the guy could come along, some security guy could come along and go, hey, you know, you should probably shut your barn doors because, well, a wolf might come and eat your cows, right?
Mhm.
Oh, but I've
Yeah.
never had a wolf attack. I've never seen any evidence of a wolf attack. Well, guess what happens when the wolf finally attacks? A little
Yep.
too damn late to close the bar doors at that point. This
Exactly.
is kind of the same analogy in the security world. This stuff is not about what exactly this threat analysis and threat security that these guys did and that I did when I was in that role in the military is not about what exactly is there right now. It's about what's possible and closing off all the holes. Because there are
Yeah.
holes. There are definite security holes.
Obviously. Yeah.
Zero
gotta find the
trust,
holes.
vulnerability management,
Yep.
analyzing logs, encryption,
Yep.
deleting data, even VPNs. These things
VPN,
being
yeah.
on a government, these things being anywhere near a government network make them a security risk. It's no different.
Yeah.
And here's the other part. Cell phones is an example. You do realize that on cell phones that if it's a government cell phone, that it has government monitoring software on there, right? We don't have that on these freaking smart controllers for DJI drones. Just as an example, that stuff is not plugged in. The other piece of it is that software, the way it's deployed, there's zero chance for the government to actually put it in somewhere, test it before it gets deployed, right? So even in the case of, and this is part of what I did in my job that I did some before I retired, was we used to take, or I used to take Microsoft. I'd take our ghosted images that we would put on machines. I would apply the patches, run them through our tools to look for crap, and then rebuild the image. So in that particular infrastructure, right, the government, because you can use Windows update services to manage pushing the updates to the machines, which gives you the government a chance to install it in a lab environment, go through it, look at it, go, okay, this all looks good. I don't see anything, and then deploy it out, right? So the deployment of firmware and updates to the drones is not managed by the government. That's partially where the security risk is, because none of that is ever going to get through our stuff. This is one way DJI could get around this entire bloody thing if they wanted to do it. They could literally hire a lab over here, hand the software over, whatever the updates would be, and then on government drones, the updates would not come from DJI. It would come from a government managed server that the government looked at that code and then deployed it, just like they do with Windows updates, Apple updates, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If they created an infrastructure where the government could control the updates to those things and could look at it, monitor it, manage it, they would get themselves out of a lot of hot water. Because none of that exists, they're absolutely a security risk. 100% absolutely a security risk.
Yeah.
And they're not after, like I said, they're not after pictures. They're literally not after pictures. It's about signal intelligence. The same thing that stupid balloon flying over the country was doing, was trying to collect signal intelligence. So, you know, you got antennas on a drone flying around. There's no reason that drone, it's not like it needs a huge amount of bandwidth to send that data to China. It's only a few numbers in a small message.
Yep.
You know, I see this frequency at this location. That's all it's got to do. Literally all it's got to do. What the hell do you think the Chinese and the Russians do with their embassies? And the buildings that they set up around the country? They're basically spying internally on us.
Well,
And
think
we do the
about
same, and we do the same to them.
Well, think
So-
about Android, right? You have to sideload all those apps.
Yeah.
So they don't go through any kind of Google verification.
If it goes side load, it's even worse. At least when it goes through the store, Google has looked at it.
Well, I've said that from the beginning that nobody gives a shit where the hardware is made. It's the software that they have a concern
The
with.
software is 100% the freaking risk.
If
Except
they
Exactly.
hire,
except the firmware on the drone, potentially, if it's monitoring Wi-Fi networks, it could make its own Wi-Fi connection from the drone that never used anything off of your controller, your phone, or anything else. It could do it without the controller ever freaking knowing, right? Because keep in mind, it's using those same frequencies to talk back to the controller. So it could easily try to be snooping around Wi-Fi networks and finding IP addresses of what it sees and finds. Here's the other part. It could also be used for trying to map what routers might be, what devices you're using there. That's godly information to people on the security side, because there's an entire list of vulnerabilities of different type networking devices. So a drone flying around and figuring out, hey, this router's here near this government, whatever. The Chinese can pull out their list of what vulnerabilities that we have to attack it and what's the IP address. That's what they're after. That's how they could use those things. So the whole bullshit that it's not a threat, those people don't know what they're talking about. You've never worked in computer security. And you've certainly never done it in the military, which is what part of what I did the last 5 years before I retired. Anyway,
Well, like,
I was
I
glad
was-
to see this article come out, because it finally shuts people up about what's the risk. The risk is 100% real.
Well, I've said it from the beginning that if they just hired an American company or had an
Yes.
American company make the software for them, and they just build
And
the drones,
deploy it.
that
Build
would
and
take
deploy it. Build and deploy it here so the U.S. government can control it.
they would lose a lot of their heat. Because
Yep.
in most people's arguments, when you try to bring up the software issue or security threats, the biggest thing they come back is, well, what about our washing machines that are made there? What about iPhones? What about this? I'm like,
Your washing
dude,
machine's not flying around gathering signal intelligence.
well, what I'm saying is, like, it has nothing to do. They keep trying to use the hardware argument of, well,
Well-
iPhones are built in China. Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't
but the
matter
software is
because
built
it's
here.
exactly. So it doesn't matter about the hardware.
And the super risk to DJI, and I've been trying to tell people this forever, and they need to open their damned ears, is that in China, the Chinese government can come in and tell DJI to do anything. If they tell DJI to, here's another risk. What if they put a Trojan inside of the DJI Fly app that goes onto there, and that thing's on an inside,
why would
and
they
that
put a
thing's
condom in
inside,
there?
and that thing's inside a and the thing's inside a government network, and it finds an open IP somewhere, and it inserts that into the network.
Well-
Again, it's potentially behind the firewall.
Much as you're all panicking about this, did you know your computer has been doing this for years?
Yes,
Since
there's
Windows.
literally been a cyber war.
Windows
There's literally
XP.
been a cyber war between the U.S. and China and Russia since late 90s.
No, but since Windows XP, on your computer, there are 4 hidden networks.
Including its own 127.0.0.1.
There's no place like home.
Yeah, there's no
Well,
place
you
like
got to
home.
look at it as a lesser of two evils. Would you rather the Chinese be spying on you or an American company?
And that's what it's about.
Because
right?
they both do it.
Right.
But which one would you rather have?
I'll
Skydio
tell you
got
what.
the
I'll
same
tell you what. I'd
problem.
rather have. I'd rather have China. I've seen the shit that comes out of there that fucking fails and falls apart, and I've also seen
Yeah.
the good stuff that comes out of America. Fuck off! I'll have Chinese. The shit at it.
You make a valid point. You present a pretty good argument there.
I mean, it's the truth though, because any tech companies that are in Australia are doing the same shit. Any tech companies that are in the UK are doing the same shit. It don't matter. I mean, there's been plenty of times where there's been laws in place, and these companies still do what the fuck they want, and government agencies still do what the hell they want.
But in China,
Yep.
the CCP controls the companies. The CCP can come in and literally tell them, hey, go put Trojans in your software and push it. And I'm telling you, Frank Wang himself ain't going to tell him a word, or he's going to wind up in front of an anti-aircraft gun shot, dead. The Chinese have literally jailed several of their actual billionaires
But
in
what
their
about?
country.
But
for
what about your
re-education.
mobile phones? And what you were saying about the washing machines? They are as dangerous because your
In some ways,
microchips.
yes.
Your microchips can control software. They contain software. So there's nothing.
What
to
you're
stop
saying? It's not
China.
going to get your shit stains out of your underwear.
No,
Whoa.
That's the only thing I want to
there's
get out
nothing
of.
to stop China saying to the manufacturers of these microchips, add a little extra code in there, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
activate it one day.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here, who really needs a
Burger?
freaking fridge, right? That monitors what you're taking in and out of the fridge. Sort
Yeah, I
of.
know. The problem with us going to the digital, we're opening ourselves up.
Hmm.
So, David,
enough.
to that
Very good.
that very point, let me share a story that not many people know. People around some of the security stuff know. But in the 80s, the US started helping Russia with as they got early on in their oil stuff because they knew they had oil, they couldn't pump it out. So we sold them a bunch of stuff for their pipeline. Well, unbeknownst to them, one of the things that we did is, and here's your point, David, we modified the chips controlling the pumping stations so that we could do something bad. Eventually, Reagan told them, go ahead and do something bad. We literally blew up their oil pipeline because we had modified the chips of the stuff that we had sent over there. So the risk about this stuff is deadly real. That's why they pushed Huawei out of any of our 5G network stuff here. The risk is unfucking real.
Same here.
The people who don't live and work in that world do not understand the shit is going down every day. Every day is going on between us and China and Russia.
You know what? One of
There's
the
literally
greatest,
been an information warfare for more than 20 years.
one of the greatest computer viruses ever was Stuxnet. Stuxnet. That was the one
Yeah.
that the Israel and the U.S.
Yeah.
built, the one that bounced around the world, and
Yeah.
it apparently was on about 70% of the PCs in the world. But it was designed to ignore the regular because it was looking for a specific, which was the what was it? There was something in the nuclear power plant, the refute.
That whole
Something
thing
like
was about attacking Iran.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
bounced
that
around
was-
the world for a couple of years until it
Yeah.
finally found the right computer. And that was actually apparently their nuclear power plant was actually air gapped. So somebody had to have gone in there and installed it on there.
Exactly.
Or it got onto a computer that they ended up plugging into it at some point.
So, anyways, have I made it clear enough what the security risk is now? It is 100% real.
And the biggest virus ever was the Ubuntu buddy, the little monkey thing. That was on
I remember that.
everybody's computer for so long and no one knew what it was doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But from the security guy's standpoint, the fact that nobody can look at that crap before it gets loaded and monitor it and look at it makes it a huge security hole. And especially with the process and procedures in China and how much control the government has, which is 100%. You can't tell me that if we went to war and they attacked Taiwan, if they attacked Taiwan, you can't tell me that they wouldn't be pushing all kinds of bad shit through any piece of software that Chinese companies make.
Embedded in the microchips.
Yeah,
that's right.
100%.
It was meant to. It was meant to
100%.
speed up the centrifuges.
Because
That's
the
what it was.
fastest, the actual fastest internet actually that's available to us is through our plugs or electric.
Yep. They've explored that one down here.
Anyways, I'm glad this article finally came out. Maybe some of the people that have been just like laughing at it from it will finally pull their heads out of the dark and maybe come to understand a little bit about computer and network security and how that
But there are a
device
lot
can
of
be used
people-
in a really bad way.
There are a lot of people that are like ostriches with their head in the sand.
But to be fair, and I want to point this out about that article.
Yeah.
It's not just saying DJI, right? It's also saying the other drone companies as well. For a lot of the same reasons. The other part of it is those other drone companies are in countries friendly to the US. China is obviously not. So the risk is a hell of a lot higher when you do your risk assessment.
Yeah, that doesn't help us out any.
I got it. I understand. Yeah, DJI makes great crap, but the risk.
But at this moment in time, the biggest threat with your drone is actually modification by the user. Because as
Yeah, that's probably
as
true.
we-
That's probably true.
as we've seen in Ukraine and Russia,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
these fucking things super.
You
know,
know, David, that's why I think
Dropping
the-
hand grenades into a tank. Jesus.
Mm.
yeah, I think the world will come to a point where consumer drones will be sub 250. End of
Mm.
story. They will not allow a drone over that size. They'll allow enterprise drones and they're to be controlled, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like dynamite, right? But you and me can't go buy dynamite, but if you're a company that does explosions, you could go buy dynamite, but it's highly controlled. I think that's probably what will happen to large size drones.
And there's another thing as well.
If they apply security policies.
This film might have been a comedy, but in one of Johnny English films,
Yeah.
it shows how they can hack into the traffic lights, and simply by turning all the traffic lights, they could bring a whole country to a standstill.
Mm.
You know, that's been my worry with automated cars.
Very
The
true.
security
Rigger.
risk is gigantic. Hello, how many times has Ring been hacked?
Can thank
Mm.
Bill Clinton for that, Rigger.
Yeah.
How many times do you think those smart light bulbs have probably been hacked? More than we probably
Exactly.
know. Those companies
Yeah.
aren't about security. They're about producing a device.
Oh, there's a
and
video
that's
on
my
YouTube.
fear with the auto guys. I don't think there's enough security
Wait,
in the
oh.
crap that they do.
There's a video on YouTube of a guy who actually realized he was a hacker, but he was like a hacker for good, and he
Mhm.
he
White hat.
found a bunch of people's Ring cameras and stuff on a dark site, and he actually got a hold of them through their cameras and said, "Hey, you have a security risk on your cameras. People are able to watch you. You need to shut your cameras down, get a hold of Ring, and change your passwords and everything."
Yeah. I've
And let
seen a
them
lot
know
of
what's
those.
going on. And he actually filmed himself contacting people through their security cameras and said, "Hey, I'm a good guy. I'm just letting you know. I'm giving you a heads up. I found all your information on a dark site, and people are actually looking at you through your cameras because there was kids where people were coming on cameras like baby monitors and shit and talking crap to kids."
Just in case all our timing is off here, I'd like to say it was nice knowing you all. When we're all wiped out because none of us have got our tinfoil hats on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna get
I
my
left the
tinfoil.
room, so just so you guys, whoever's listening, I left the room.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you only get 2 bullets.
Yeah.
To be fair, I get it. The people have been going, "Oh, what's the problem?" They weren't trained in computer security. I get it. They didn't understand.
Mm.
I lived in that world.
And the worst bit is, all this has not just been going on with modern computers. It's in your Xboxes, it's in your PS2s and Nintendo Wii's. It's everywhere. You know,
Internet of Things has been a really bad thing. You know, most of the DDoS attacks actually use things like Ring doorbells and smart light bulbs and crap like that, because there's millions of those devices, so it's a lot easier to overwhelm with DDoS attacks using those devices.
Your older technology is more at risk than your newer technology.
Yeah.
You know how the government keeps some things secure? They literally use mainframes and storage devices that don't exist anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
They literally put it on some old shit. So some of our nuclear stuff is literally being stored on shit that was from the 60s because nobody knows how to do anything with it. So the hackers know nothing about it and can't get to it, and it's not connected and all that kind of stuff. It's literally
Because
that's how some of our stuff
you
is kept.
consider how old the Nintendo Wii is, and mine still gets security updates.
Yeah.
So anyways, there you go. There's my contribution for interesting story for the day.
Mm.
Now that the FBI and especially CISA finally put out their concerns, now I can talk about it.
Yeah. And one of the other biggest problems that no one actually understands, a simple picture can have an embedded code.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh God, yes. Corrupted JPEGs can do bad things.
Calgary hive mind in Canada.
No shit. That's crazy.
So we're white hats, and we don't have English as an intent, but I'm just here to like kind of let you know, and so no one knows like any black hat hackers.
Damn, man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well then, yeah, I appreciate it. Where, like, are you able to see where I live and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you live right now, but if someone was really that dedicated, I mean, yeah, they could geolocate an IP, they could see when you're not home, and I mean, just be.
But he's literally talking through his store, through his
Right.
security system, talking to him, letting him know that he needs to fix it.
Even if someone does get your password, they can't do what I did right here and log in.
All right. Cool. Well, damn, that's actually insane. All right. Well, yeah, thank you for.
Shit,
letting
my
me know,
Alexa
and,
started talking. We have a fight.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'll be going to grab a gun.
Yeah, no worries.
Mhm.
Thanks. Take care.
Never hear or see from me again, so have a good night, and
Anyways, the article, the stuff in that article is what's been being fed to the Congress and the politicians. That's why they've been doing what they're doing. They're just not. They weren't going to tell everybody. Hello, we don't tell the world everything, and U.S. citizens don't have the right to know everything. Hello, we don't tell everybody how we build our nukes, or how we build our bombers or our jets. That's not public knowledge. Why? For security reasons.
Yep.
So not everybody needs to know necessarily everything. They will tell you what they can. You just have to believe that they're correct. And I get why people would question it, and you should question it with no doubts. You should question it. We should all question it. But there are times where we don't have the right to know, nor should we, nor would you want to, because it'll drive you fucking mad.
Mark, don't even go there. Shove your Fujitsu right where the Fujitsu don't shine.
Exactly.
If you want to see what knowing all that crap does to the body, look at every president from the U.S. They all wind up gray as gray can be.
Have you seen what they've done, Dominic? Fujitsu.
Of the stresses of dealing with all this crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a software for our post office.
Oh, okay.
Convinced all the sub postmasters that it was unimpenetrable. Only the sub postmasters could get in there and, you know, do their accounting and stuff. And because they knew there were software bugs, they were going in there at night while the sub postmaster was sleeping and changing figures. And a lot of our sub postmasters were actually given criminal convictions, 700 of them. Yeah, some of them went to jail. Some of them committed suicide. It's awful.
Yeah.
And it's
I did read about that, actually.
It's been going on for 20 years. And it's only just now come up to everyone started taking it seriously.
And here's the other, here's the flip side to this whole thing. What's China doing to Apple right now? They're pushing Apple out. Why is China saying Apple's a security risk? Because the software comes from the US.
Yep.
And they know the NSA probably knows some of the holes that are in. This was the biggest thing that came out from the Snowden leak. The biggest thing that came out from the Snowden leak was that the government knew holes and weren't telling the companies.
Exactly.
And they were stacking them up so that they could use them if we ever went to war. So the Chinese are 100% correct to be bloody nervous as hell about Apple or Microsoft. They've been building their own Chinese OS to replace.
I wouldn't worry about Microsoft. If we went to war, Microsoft would be like, just a minute, we're just going to do an update.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say they're waiting for an update.
Yeah, you just press the big red button and get blue screen of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways, that risk is real to them too, because I guarantee if something goes down, we will We will pull everything out that we know
Well, everyone will
and use
use
it to
it.
get into any back door that we can think we can go through
Yeah.
against them. Our military will go balls to the wall trying to break into their stuff
Mm.
with
Looking at
the
Donald, I
stuff
think
that we know.
he's been rumbled. The old CIA agent there.
Mhm.
I'm
And the
watching-
reason they
watching the
don't
news.
always, I was gonna
It's
say, the
like-
reason they don't
Good.
always tell the companies about the whole security hole is so that they can use it and exploit it.
Yeah.
They don't want them to fix it. They just don't want the rest of the world to know that they know how to get in.
You have to look at this other stuff as well that's now coming out, right? Your new Samsung phone's going to have AI built in,
Mm.
right? They've got the smartwatch,
That's what we need.
right? We've got the smartwatch. We've got the earbuds, right?
Yep.
All this. And now they've come out with the Samsung Ring.
The ring
Yep.
is kind of interesting. It's geared at just health metrics.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but
It
why
is, but think about it from a
need that
bad
health
guy.
data?
Think about it from a bad guy's perspective. If you get the health metrics of, say, the president of the U.S.,
Exactly.
the security risk of that thing, if you're somebody who's kind of important, is
And again,
yeah, kind of high.
and again, that ring is going to have chips inside it with software.
And talking to the phone,
even-
which
it's even
potentially could get
closer.
hacked.
Yeah, it's even closer to your computer and
Mhm.
closer to Wi-Fi and data.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the day Laura puts one on my finger when I get married, and I'll be like, "What the fuck crap?"
But you know what the real answer is, guys? At least for those of you out here in the real world.
Learn how to grow your own food.
Do your thing, use your devices, let the updates go in. If you have Wi-Fi routers at home, make sure that you're going in and sliding into the routers and checking to see if there's firmware updates on your routers. There's a lot of security things that get pushed to routers that people just never install that they should. Things like that will protect you as best you can.
And if you want to know just how they can put this software on devices, Samsung AI software is going to be installed on older phones. I think it's from the S22 upwards.
Hey David, you want to know a secret?
Well-
It's not Samsung's. They licensed Google.
Mm.
That's all they did. They've rebranded it.
No,
It's actually Google. It's actually Google's.
The AI is actually Samsung. The software.
The AI is actually Google. It's already on the Pixel. They've
That
rebranded it under their own damn name. That's what they did.
It's got Bing embedded as well.
Yeah.
Oh no. Bing is a joke.
They're not using ChatGDP, that's for sure.
They are. It just depends on which version.
They're gonna gather more information from these new devices than we could possibly imagine. Your phone does not need to know your medication history. It doesn't need to know your health. Right? You don't need your phone to tell you you're not sleeping very well because you'll bloody well don't well know it.
Exactly.
You know if you've got high blood pressure because you'll feel it. Isn't that right, Captain Joe?
Just
You
for a
don't
few-
always feel it. Mine's been high and I couldn't feel it before.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't know sometimes.
Just for our future AI overlords, I don't agree with David.
Yeah.
But
I'm becoming impartial.
but to help you find out who Justin is, a bit of well a pink hat.
You mean Switzerland?
Yeah.
Go on.
Andrew.
I'm being
So-
neutral, is what I said. Yeah.
Just so you're aware. All right.
Justin, they showed the story just now about all the Teslas that were having problems in the cold, right? And Kerry, our former, whatever he was, that's now working with Biden, comes on and
Oh.
he says that all it was disinformation to give bad rumors about electric vehicles.
Well, they don't even like.
Ever had a battery out
Was
in
it
the cold knows
disinformation?
Tim.
Well, the thing is, though, is Tesla. The government don't even like Tesla anyway because when they did that big EV summit last
Yeah.
year, They didn't even
Mhm.
invite Tesla, and they said GM was the forefront of electric
Mhm.
vehicles.
Anybody,
Exactly.
even anybody that had a car like a gas car that ever went out in the middle of winter and cranked their engine and the battery goes run, it's a little,
That's
works
right.
a little bit harder, knows it's not bullshit.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's right, but he
Ridiculous.
thinks everybody's
Been
stupid,
there.
you know?
Been
Although
there,
the
That's just
Tesla
for-
has a button that you're supposed to push to sort of preheat, I think, before you plug the charger in. So that was part of the reason they were putting all this shit out, because it's pretty evident that there are a mass amount of people who have EVs that don't know how to manage them in the winter. I got to run,
Okay,
guys.
Tim.
Well, the thing is, it's just funny that the government would even be defending Tesla because they don't like Elon.
Hot rods
And
just
when, like I said, when they did the EV summit, what was it, last year or the year before? They didn't even
okay.
invite Tesla, and they said
Okay,
GM
Rod.
was the big miraculous, like they were the ones that started the whole EV thing. It was like,
Mm.
no, Tesla was kind of before GM and was kind of the one that really brought the electric vehicle to market. If anything,
Yeah.
Tesla should get that praise
Yeah.
because they're the ones that brought the electric vehicle to the masses. None of the other ones did it until after Tesla started being successful.
Yeah.
Did anybody know how
So-
fast Hot Rod left then? I think he was the first one to be hit.
Yeah.
Well, he left like a hot rod.
Yeah, somebody knocked on his door and they were in black suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Men in Black.
Andrew,
You mean
you're now
the Men in
implicated.
Black.
Yeah, you're now implicated. They're going to come swinging through that window behind you.
His ring doorbell started talking to him.
Yep.
Well, I can't stand when I'm sitting here and it's perfectly quiet and my Alexa will ask me a question. I'll look over at it, but no.
Yeah.
I did not quite understand that. I didn't say anything.
When Alexa goes
Mine-
rogue.
Mine did that last night.
Yeah.
We were
Mhm.
talking with friends in the family room, and she asked, "I did not understand that,"
Yeah, Google does the same,
and nobody said her name.
right? Google is just as bad.
Listen. Hi,
3 o'clock in the morning, you're snoring away, you've got the volume on max, ready for the alarm to go off, and all of a sudden it'll just suddenly go, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. What the fuck?
Ow.
Maybe I have a gun too close to me. Don't do that.
Mm.
I can't help with that, yeah.
Has that happened to you, Don?
What?
Well, yeah. Well, it's
Google
happened to me
device.
once.
Well, what's her name from Google?
Alexa.
Or randomly going off?
Yeah.
Alexa lives in
I've
my
had it
garage.
happen once.
By the way, we're all saying the name here, and Paul's Alexa's probably going, will you guys just fuck off?
Hello, Paul Murray.
Alexa, sing like a pirate.
Paul's not there. Paul took off to go do a shit.
He didn't,
Been gone a long time.
he,
My
didn't take
favorite.
he didn't take his Alexa with him, no.
I went over to my parents' house and I was like, Alexa, sing like a pirate. And she goes, start singing like a pirate. And they told it to shut up. And I said, Alexa, at 3 o'clock in the morning, sing like a pirate. Would you like me to set an alarm? Yes. And they're like,
Oh, hell no.
can't try to cancel the alarm. And it's like, would you like to revert to your previous ringtone or your previous alarm setting or alarm tone? And it's like, oh, she had to sing like a pirate set to their alert tone. And I immediately was like, no, because I knew that they wouldn't be able to figure out how to go back into.
Well, Don might start singing like a pirate if we're not careful.
Yeah, Google will get freaking
Well-
locked window if it started going at fucking 3 in the morning.
But yeah, my Alexa lives in the garage. She's only used to play music.
That's all we're using our Google for, the music.
That's what a lot of people use it for, and just basic internet searches for stuff. They want to like find.
I
out
don't
the
even
weather
use
or
it for.
something.
I don't even use it for internet searches. Time check and music. That's it. We got rid of
time check and weather.
I guess that's
What
not
about-
true. she is in the living room because we have a Fire Stick and it has that little hold down the button.
Yeah.
What about add this to your cart?
Mhm.
Can't do that with Google.
Remember those stupid Wi-Fi buttons that Amazon was trying to sell for a while?
Mm.
You remember those, the little buttons, and you would press it, and it was like specifically a button just for your laundry detergent. And when you would press it,
Oh,
it would
yeah.
order. Let me see if I can find them.
No, I don't remember that.
They weren't
they
on the
some of
market
those?
very long, but they would charge you like $3 or $4 for the button.
Tim. Tim.
Only Tim.
Yep.
Oh, see, I use my Alexa to download bad porn.
Mm. Not good porn. Yep.
Alexa, can you show me some hand-drawn pictures from the 1800s?
Here, this is what I was talking about, Donald. So they were called dash buttons, but you had to buy one for each individual item that you would have in your house.
And you just, oh, I'm running low, push the button, and it automatically add it to your cart.
Right. And it would order it automatically. Like it didn't just add it to your cart, it would charge you and order it. But they were having problems because kids were picking them up and shit and just pressing the button like 10 times. And just it was
So
a
would you be
stupid idea.
paying shipping on like a box of trash bags? Paying individual shipping on all those items instead of just bundling it?
Probably.
Well, no, because if you had the Amazon Prime,
Oh,
but like I said, it was what was stupid about it is you were getting charged like $3 or $4 for each button you bought.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes, Tim. Proper porn where they wear monocles and top hats.
Yes.
So are they still
But-
selling those?
But the
Are they
thing
still
is
selling
they,
them or no?
no. And the reason, one of the other reasons that it was a bad idea was because
I say.
it already went against their electronic, it was already going against their electronic renewal system that they had where you could join, like, if you wanted bounty toilet paper, or I mean, bounty like napkins, right? You could sign up for a renewal program where once a month Amazon will automatically order them and send them to you. So they already had an automated system set up for that. So it was like, that was another reason why it was just, yeah, it wasn't a good idea. It didn't last very long.
Do you remember a few years back when the news guy in America, he was doing a story about a kid that ordered a doll, and the woman had kicked off at Amazon for sending this $400 doll or something, and she actually gave the news the video CCTV of her kid ordering it. So the guy played it over the news, and loads of people's Alexas were ordering these dolls.
Oh, there's been a lot of cases where kids have gotten onto their parents' Amazon account and ordered shit.
Yep, Tim.
That
If
would
ever
be a
there's a solar
huge-
flare, this world will be fucked. There's always solar flares, Tim. That's what
Tim,
causes
it
the
would
northern
have
lights.
to be a big as solar flare.
Yeah, a really one, really big one.
There's solar flares all the time.
The
Yeah,
worst
What you're talking about
smaller.
is if we got hit by some sort of a EMT or
A coronal mass injection, yeah.
want to
the
know what
EMP
the,
and EMP. Yeah.
right, the biggest
Yeah,
flare, right, is a solar flare at the same time that everybody on the planet
Edward.
farts.
What's
Yeah.
up, Edward?
Everyone's losing their eyebrows.
It would have to be a
Yeah,
large enough solar flare to pull away our yeah.
Are you using a solar flare when everybody farts?
Yeah.
There's been plenty of mass ejections out of the
That's
sun,
what
right?
I mean,
yeah, I've had a couple mass ejections.
God damn it. I was
I
trying
knew
to
that was coming.
Yeah.
I've had
knew
too
that was
many
coming.
peppers and beans.
Donald, they never learned, did he?
No,
Was it broccoli this time?
I'm always watching. I'm always listening.
He's like a Google and Alexa, always there.
Just waiting.
Yeah,
Did
he's
you say
always
mass
sitting there.
ejection?
His eyes light up too.
Yeah, Tim.
Same.
Justin and I were talking about that the other day about, if our network goes down, everybody's lost. They're disconnected. Learn how to find your own food. Learn how to forage. Learn how to do things that don't
Morse
require
code.
a store.
Well, I love these people, Donald,
Smoke
right?
signals.
They put a couple solar panels on their house and they're like, I'm off the grid.
Mm.
Like, bitch, what are you going to do if them solar panels break?
You know what?
Like, that's
Hey,
not
hey.
off the grid. Off the grid to me is when you can be completely self-sufficient and you don't need any outside help. You don't actually need to use money to buy anything.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
actually,
grow, catch all your food. That
That's
to me is being off the grid.
no, off the grid means you've got no electricity and you're not using the internet or anything like that. Got no mobile technology, no nothing.
Well,
you
that's
are
what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But people will put solar panels on their house and they're like, I'm off the grid. Like all of a sudden they're fucking on an episode of Survivor, you know?
Yeah, when I go
Like-
hiking, I take a fire starter with me. It's called a Bic lighter, and
Yep.
I carry a backup fire starter. It's called a second Bic lighter because they're very convenient. They work all the time, and they don't weigh
Second Bic
anything.
lighter.
But
Bic lighters are the most.
and they're consistent. They light all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
But I also can start a fire without a Bic lighter.
Dude, I would rather
You
take
learn
one Bic
learn those
lighter.
skills so that you can do it, but keep the convenience that you don't have to.
Dude, I'd rather take one Bic lighter over 20 cheap dollar store lighters any day.
Yeah, but what if that big lighter was made in China and has a chip inside it?
Oh, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
They need to get a
Probably
chip
is one.
first. They need to have the chip first.
You don't know. There might be one. We're being spied on with
what
our
else is
lighters
in
as
that?
well.
Look at the size of the flint in a lighter. What else is
Yeah.
Say the easiest way to start a fire though is a 9-volt battery and a little piece of like steel wool.
Yeah, I was just going to say that one. Yeah. That'll really go up quickly.
bit of
Yeah,
dry
just start
grass,
it-
bit of
start it
dry
real
grass,
quick.
and 2 wooden sticks.
No, but like I said, there's a lot of people out there though that put a couple solar panels on their house and all of a sudden they're freaking you know, a survivalist.
My preferred way,
They're suddenly
though,
Bear Grylls.
David,
Yeah, exactly.
is cut a sharp dry stick, and you can split another like a board down the lengthwise and cut a groove, and
Mr.
it's rubbing
JRC.
along the groove this way. It's a lot easier than trying to do the friggin'
It is.
You
But
You can
What is
buy
it?
those on Amazon.
Oh,
you can make one with pocket knife.
and anyone that thinks that your internet and all that ain't listening to you, last night on, I think it was Laura's stream, when Justin was playing his Fortnite, I said to him, Justin, you need to get that female outfit and put it on and wear it on Paul's stream. And I said, because if I see it, I'm going to buy it you. Just having a laugh and a joke. Today we went into town and we saw it in the shop. The exact one, but in black. It was like, what the?
Wow.
Usually it pop up if you look it on Amazon, it'll pop up on Amazon for you.
Well, it's just like people at this, you know, they talk about, oh, you know, I was talking about cat food and all of a sudden I had cat food ads popping up. It ain't no fucking
Exactly.
conspiracy. Read the terms and services. It says that they're listening to you.
Yeah.
It's not no big conspiracy. We all have known that if you, and it even asks you, do you want access to your mic or your camera and your photos? I mean, it literally asks. Just nobody ever reads the shit.
Yeah,
They're just like accept.
That's why a lot of your phone apps now, you set it to only use while you using the app. So apps don't have access to your microphone and camera unless you're actually using it yourself.
Yep.
I'm sure they'll find a backdoor way around it, but
Yep.
for all we know, Paul could be a secret CIA agent.
Yeah.
He takes an awful lot of pictures of boat traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah, he does.
So how'd you guys do? Did you see me flying?
No, I didn't look.
What I saw was an orange box with a P in it.
You were peeing in an orange box? What?
Oh, you were? That's all that's on the screen. Your camera's off.
My
Yep.
camera is off.
Yep.
Yes.
Justin, don't forget to give Paul his host back before you leave.
I didn't get it. He never gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
All right then.
I was co-host the whole time. He's been host.
Cool.
Oh, hey. Gary's on.
Oh, Spirit of the Devil, look who it is.
But it's a repeat.
Yeah. Strange
Yeah.
that. I just
The
said
repeat.
Paul could be a
Hi,
CIA
Paul.
and he just appears.
Mm.
Or we say his name 3 times and he shows up.
Yeah. You've
Mhm.
missed the whole conspiracy theory chat from Hot Rod and us all, and washing machines are going to take us all down and stuff.
But don't say Beetlejuice
No,
name 3
David.
times.
David, if you
Beetlejuice,
really think washing
Beetlejuice.
machines will take
He
over?
said you
Yeah, they'll put you in.
No.
Yes, the washing machines are
No.
going to put you in a flat spin.
that you're meddling with forces you cannot control.
Excuse me.
Listen, I had a Samsung washing machine that would send me a text if there was a foreign object in my jeans pocket. Yeah. A bit useless if it's the fucking phone, right? If you've left your phone in the pocket, but apparently it would send you a text to say there's a foreign object in your washing machine.
Justin has the same thing for his ass.
And there it is.
That's the Don that we all know and love right there.
I'm not even paying attention hardly.
Did you do a cooking segment while I was gone?
No.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
I'm
not.
thinking about some roasted veggies and salmon.
ah,
Nah, a little fishy to me.
You don't like salmon? Oh yeah, veggies.
Yeah, I'm not a pescatarian.
That's right.
A very common misconception. When you go to a restaurant and they go, "Can I have the vegetarian option?" They go, "Don't have any vegetarian. Do you want fish?"
Yeah.
Actually, it's not the most common misconception. Most common misconception is that you thought I gave a shit.
No. I've never thought that.
Well, good news for Paul Murray. Government shutdown has been averted.
It always is. They always figure it out at the last minute.
Till March.
It's all about selling adverts. Let's make a story up that everyone's going to panic about, sell a few adverts down the sides and make some money for the economy. And then, by the way, guys, it was all bollocks. Here, have your money.
Hold on, what do adverts have to do with the government shutdown?
Think about it. The news story itself. Yeah.
Well, that's a news company making money.
Yeah, but it all goes out to the media outlets. They run the story, sell the adverts down the sides and all over the websites because that's where they all are now. And then the government make money out of it in taxes. And then suddenly it was all bollocks. You're all good to go. Do you honestly think any politician is going to shut down the US government?
Yeah. Somebody will. The whole
I
us is for
don't
something else
ever
that they
worry
want.
about it because they've always dealt with it at the last minute. It happens every time. It's nothing new. This is just every time they threaten the government shutdown, they always wait till last minute, try to get each other to do whatever the other side wants them to do, and then at the last minute they come to an agreement.
Yep.
Shutting down the US government will be the biggest problem for the freaking world, not just Oh, Justin, the next one. He's down the bottom. But Justin had been taken out then.
It's who can ever get the most money. That's what it is.
What about salmon tacos, Tim?
Oh,
Tacos sound good.
back on the tacos. Mark, all right. Resistance is futile.
Star Trek.
Yep.
Only worry when resistance becomes fertile.
Means I get to have a
Mark.
lot of sex if I resist. What you're
Mark
saying?
what Mark White said, I think Paul is really Johnny English. So Mark White, you think Paul is a spy?
I don't think he looks like Mr. Bean.
You're awfully quiet there, Paul.
Oh, I'm just editing.
Editing.
Ah.
Yeah, Mark R. White. As much as crazy as Donald Trump is and the world thinks he is, no one in the US is actually going to let him take over and dictate the country. Yeah. The US is all about its democracy.
No, it's not.
They're not going to let anyone
Not
ruin it.
anymore.
No, we're not a democracy.
Rigger said since
Never have been.
1980 we've had
No.
8 shutdowns.
We democratically elect representatives, and our federal government is a representative government, not a democracy.
Okay, I stand corrected. Not going to argue with that. You guys live over
They
there.
don't represent me.
They're supposed to. And that's why you have the opportunity to change them.
Yep.
Or try to
But there's
change
not
them.
enough of us that understand that will change them. They get
Yep.
comfortable.
But that sounds the biggest problem with our government. We vote in MPs who then choose the leader. We don't choose the leader. The MPs do. But doesn't matter. Well, if we vote out the Tories tomorrow, the same civil servants that are screwing us over, giving them all the bad advice, are still sat on the desk, giving it to the next government.
It's the unelected bureaucracy.
We have a similar problem here.
Well, Rigger, I think there's several different kinds of democracies. So
Yep.
I don't agree with the whole argument of we're losing our freedoms that everybody keeps saying. Because I can still do the same shit I could have done 20 years ago.
But everybody's going to have a different perspective on politics.
Well, the problem is everybody is trying to
Dominic's right.
correlate social media with them losing their freedoms. Well, guess what? The Constitution does not give you freedom of speech with private companies. It's just for the government.
Mike and the Mechanics had it right in the early 80s.
Yep.
The word of mouth.
If Facebook wants to censor you, that's Facebook's right as a private company.
That is not entirely true, Justin. Because once they reach a certain size, they are more of a public square than anything.
Yeah.
And you can have a public notice board on private property, and if it's a public notice board, then everyone should have the same access to it.
It depends on the size of the company that they become a publisher rather than a
right.
If
They're going to
publisher,
editorialize, if they're gonna say, okay, this is a public board, but you can't post here, you can't post here, they're now a publisher and they are liable for any content that is on their board because they are curating.
Edward
But
has a point.
all
Edward
these,
has a point
all these
there.
big internet companies, all these social media sites, they want to be able to act as curators of information, but not bear the responsibility of being a publisher.
the opinion. Exactly.
Well,
They enjoy the benefits of being a public square without without having the responsibility.
Well, right, but what my whole argument is, people are trying to use social media today is, oh, we're losing our rights. No, I can still go buy a gun. I can still stand on the street and protest, and still walk down the street and do whatever the hell I want. long as it's
Yeah.
within the reasonable laws, you know what I'm saying?
You can. Did you know over here now, it's a criminal offence to organise a protest without letting the authorities know and without putting your own security, your own stewards in place.
Yep. Similar here.
Right? If you have a spontaneous uprising,
A flash mob.
yeah, it's now deemed a criminal and illegal event. And then
Similar here.
they'll put a section 6, I think it is, in place, and then start going around grabbing everybody and charging them with section 5 public order offences. So freedom is being eroded.
In a point, yes.
Yeah.
You've got to, you make a valid point.
But that's over here in the UK. Probably different in America. Because I'm assuming if some police officer tried to stop a flash mob, he ain't going to be around for long.
Yeah, there's going to be too many in the mob for this officer to be successful. One officer versus what, 50 plus people on a
Let's
flash
be
mob?
honest. Who really runs the world? It ain't us. It ain't our governments. It's the mob.
Yep.
And if you
Are
don't,
was the
ta-
key.
are you talking about the Italian mafia?
Yeah.
Is that another name for the Catholic Church?
that's the one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you're either going to be swimming with the fishes or holding up the M25 flyover.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? The Catholic Church? Because I could give a fuck less about the Catholic Church. Just saying.
Like Lee
Me
Evans, said when they announced that London was hosting the Olympics, they went,
Rigger, why don't you just come on panel?
yeah. They said all the gangsters of the UK are all like, shit, that's where we buried Jake the Hat.
Mhm.
Gonna be digging up bodies all over London.
So
And they
are we
did.
going to?
At one point-
Are we? Will we ever find Jimmy Hoffa?
I was just about to say that.
I might do eventually.
Jimmy Hoffa or Harold Holt for the Australian people.
I mean, online sleuths have been trying to get Jimmy since what? The 70s?
Yeah.
At least?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, but the
I was going to say, if you go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, you've got Jimmy Hoffa, Harold Holt, and who killed JFK. They're the 3 rabbit holes you got to go down.
True.
You got a valid point there, Dusty.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little too fat. I won't fit in a rabbit hole, so I ain't going down it.
Yeah. But they're the 3 things that people want to know.
So
everything is
David,
it doesn't matter what it is these days. Everything's a conspiracy.
And
Oh,
Epstein, 9/11, all of them are.
And Dominic,
and it keeps YouTube in business.
say 9/11, the moon landing,
Nobody wants to believe just it
aliens.
is what
Area
it is.
51.
Yeah. Well, aliens in general, just not Area 51.
but the most important
Alien
question,
world.
right? We have to ask the most important question. Does Elvis still work in the Chippy in Birmingham?
No, he's
Okay.
he's Pastor
No,
Bob
he's-
Joyce. He's
He's
Bob
where?
Joyce. Bob Joyce, Pastor Bob Joyce. Look him up. And if you tell me that's not Elvis,
Uh-huh.
Well, he may look like the old Elvis, but Elvis today would look like a haggard old man.
yeah, and that's what
Because he
Bob
'cause he
Joyce
would
is.
be an old man.
Bob Joyce is 1 year younger.
You see, all these Elvis
He-
impersonators out there, they're all
What are you doing?
89.
Of aged.
I don't have a
Speaking of-
tinfoil hat, but I'm
Elvis-
putting something on to try to block something here.
Yeah, Elvis would be 89 and Bob Joyce is 88.
Well, and but the thing
Prints
is
out of a hat.
most people that argue conspiracies like the moon landing and stuff, usually the people that are arguing against it saying it's fake usually aren't even experts in the field they're trying to argue.
I've got-
And
here's-
then and
here's
that is a
another
lot
one.
of times.
That's every
Yeah, that's another good one, Mark. Lord Lucan, John Benet Ramsey. There's another one. Madeline McCann.
Oh,
There's
Madeline
another
McCann.
one.
That's
John Benet
Madeline-
Ramsey.
right.
Madeline McCann.
The
It's
Madeline
said-
McCann case is the biggest scam this country has ever faced. They know what happened to her.
I
There's
know.
no way.
Yes.
Her blood was found in the flat. It's found in their car that only,
Dan,
and she
what's
just
up, Dan?
Yes, I'll agree with that.
She
I agree with that,
disappeared
Dan.
with all them cameras, right? And
You got a
yet
point, Dan.
Still throwing billions at it.
Mm.
Well, it's what people do. They throw money at the problem.
No, but the point is, how many kids go missing in the UK every year? Thousands, right? And no one bats an eyelid.
Yep.
This one couple, kid disappears in the prior deluge, and poof, the
Well, see,
government
that's
is throwing millions at it.
That's what they say. You know, that's what we do as Americans. We make dollars, not cents. We just throw money at it.
But all these conspiracies keep YouTube in business, I'd say.
Exactly.
Because you get stuck in that rabbit hole and you're there for 5 hours, and the amount of ads you watch.
The amount of conspiracies you
But-
can spend weeks.
But the thing is,
exploring
it's
every
like,
conspiracy.
like I said, it's like the guys that try to argue flat Earth, the guys that try to argue the moon landing. None of those guys have ever been to school for any kind of anything that deals with, you know, space or anything.
Yep.
Any of the expert fields in that,
Especially
in
when
that
you
area.
see people like Neil deGrasse Tyson
It's
absolutely tear people apart on.
You
the
don't have to
flat.
go to school to learn about space and stuff to
But where are you getting your information from? On the backs of people that actually took the time to learn that stuff, right?
No, I get my information from the fact that every time I get into my car and turn on the GPS, which is based on a round earth model, I get to where I'm going. The second a flat earther comes up with a navigation system that gets me from point A to point B with no mistakes based on their flat earth model, then I will believe them. But they don't.
Right, but what
prove
was
it to
that
myself
GPS?
every single day?
But that
Donald-
GPS was built off the backs of people that understood.
Exactly, but it's proven
That's
to
my
me.
point.
It's proven to me every day. I do
Right,
the
so
experiment.
that's you're actually agreeing with me then, because what I'm saying is,
No,
who are you to believe, the flat earther or the expert that went to school for it? For
Donald,
years?
I'm going to blow this out of the water now. Why do we only ever want to go from A to B? Right? That's because if we go past B, we fall off the earth. Why are we never going to A to Z?
I don't
Is
know
this
what
another
Zed is.
episode of Brit Talk shit?
That's the
I'm winding you up. Think about
Oh,
it.
What about TikTok, East Coast?
There's a lot of conspiracy theories on TikTok, especially some of those channels.
There's
Well,
conspiracy theories everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Look,
well,
and-
between YouTube and TikTok, there are more conspiracy theories that'll make your head spin.
yeah. But you've got to remember, most conspiracy theories are not conspiracy theories, they're just people's opinion.
Mm.
And the number of conspiracy theories can run all the way from Joe all the way to Dominic.
Mm.
No, I
We've
was
got-
told.
We've
Me
got
and
a
you were on the.
couple- We've got a couple of famous ones in
but
Australia.
what you're just saying, take it from the people that know better and just trust them. I'm saying I've done experiments to make. I mean, every day when you get
But
in,
how did you
pull out-
learn how to do those experiments?
But-
though?
Well, because I punched in the stuff in the model. I guess, Justin, I guess it really comes down to how can we know anything is anything?
Exactly.
True.
Right? And weren't we having
What I'm
discussion?
saying,
Wasn't we having this discussion though
Perhaps
about
everything is an
global
illusion.
warming?
But I'm saying more these days, though, you're going to take information that people have already kind of learned themselves, and
Yeah.
you're going to work off
We
of
always
that.
have. We always have.
Right, but it's
caveman
even more today than ever. I mean,
Yep.
because of how
Yep.
much information is out there.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying is like I think we're on the same page as far as I'm just saying is If
But I'm
I'm
just saying
listening
that
to an
you don't
if I'm
have to
listening
take-
to an
if-
argument over flat Earth, am I going to listen to the guy that's been studying this heavily and has a master's or PhD or doctorate in this subject, or am I going to listen to the guy in the trailer park?
Right.
Mm.
Right.
But-
That's my whole point.
My point is slightly different than
Hi,
yours.
Laura.
Is that
Hey,
both
Laura.
arguments, without having any knowledge yourself, both arguments equally valid, but you are able to test one of them, and the other one does not have a way for you to test their theory.
Because it,
So,
you
so you
wouldn't be
don't
able
go
to.
you don't go based on blind faith that the guy who went to school was correct. You go based on the fact that you can test his work and prove it to yourself by things working, things not falling apart.
No, I
Whereas the other guy
understand.
doesn't
I
have
get
an
that.
alternative. So
That's
I'm
true.
saying we're agreeing on the major. I'm offering a slightly different color of
Well, my whole thing was
the
just
argument.
if you were looking at a conspiracy and you weren't an expert, but you're listening to both sides. And like the moon landing, I've heard a lot of astrophysicists, different people that understand space and are in that category of the field, argue the fact, and everything they say sounds legit, and they're on
With-
point, and they have a
With the moon
have a
landing, there were
counter argument for everything.
400,000 people. There were 400,000 people involved in it. So
That's a lot.
Somebody would have
trying
came
to
forward
keep,
by now.
that's what I mean. Trying to keep 400,000 people quiet would be pretty hard, wouldn't it?
That's a lot
I
of
would
people just to
say
hold up
that's-
a green screen, though.
I would say that's damn near impossible, Dominic.
Marie's got a point.
What'd Marie say?
Paul is good, but how do I know who is who?
Mm.
Would you keep 400,000 people quiet with one of them little flashing things?
I
Man,
have
black guy.
done that. I've done that, Rigger.
But there are certain things though too that just everyday people, if they tried their hardest, would never understand. Like if you're going to do advanced math, not everybody can do
yeah.
advanced math.
Mm.
So you there are certain things that you have to sort of take the expert's word on, because you as a
Yeah.
regular person, honestly, like I said, some people just don't have the mental capacity.
but
As
they
hard
have-
as they
but-
tried, they would never
but-
figure it out.
But
Well-
with anything like that, you'd need more independent validation, meaning that if only one person came to that conclusion, then you would question it. But if several people or several thousand people came to the same conclusion that the original person did, then that is validation.
Okay, well, there's two things. The first person that on this panel that passes away needs to come back and inform us on a couple of things. One, are we really somebody playing Sims 4? Right? And
what?
Well, how would they be able to do that? Because they would be a sim.
are we being
Yeah, exactly.
right? And then,
A Sims character doesn't come back after it's been deleted.
but the next question is the light that you head that you head towards, is that the vagina of you being reborn?
Oh, for fuck's
Because
sake.
they're the conspiracy theories we need answering.
But here's another. Here's
No,
another
I think
question.
what we need
That's
to
the-
do
that's
is
the
we
first
need
time I heard that shit.
we need to pay for those
yeah, the scientific
conspiracy
method, yeah.
theorists to get some serious.
Okay,
Well,
David,
one
in
at
your
a
case,
time.
I think it's the light from a different hole.
Probably. But I don't care.
That's, I've never heard that one
Awesome.
before.
But
Oh.
here's another one
Go on,
for you.
Joe.
If you've ever seen the split light theory, where you've got two pieces of cardboard
Yep.
Exactly,
at this
Dan.
level, and you put it across, and then you put
Yep.
it further and further and further away. Every time you shine that light, it moves further downward, and that is something that
You can test as a
really
layperson.
trips. But it also trips a lot of these flat earthers up, because they go out and do it and they say, oh, this is this and this. But when they start moving it and they start shining the light, it comes further and further down, and they won't
Admit that they're wrong.
admit it. Yes, there's
Yeah, I've seen that.
several of these videos.
Arguing with flat earthers is a lot like arguing with David.
No, it's not.
there's a book. There's a book about this thick It's called The World is Flat by Thomas L. Friedman.
Wasn't the guy that started
Okay.
Scientology's first name Thomas?
Nope.
Wasn't it Thomas
L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lafayette Ron
I'll
Ron Hubbard. Yeah. L. Ron Hubbard.
David,
Fucking quack.
Rigger says you're on mushrooms.
Oh, I don't have that book here anymore. I don't
No, they are things, questions that are often
Good, Dan.
asked online.
If you're on shrooms, you definitely will think about things like that, though. Just saying.
I wouldn't know.
Take me a while.
But
You'll start
the-
thinking
the
you're an
other thing you've
NPC.
gotta- I was going to say, the other thing you've got to ask, if you're on shrooms, you'd be thinking, do penguins have knees?
Yeah, there you go.
And why do penguins have wings if you can't fly?
Exactly. There's your,
Or-
They use them in the water.
yeah.
And
Why-
then,
They're
and
more
then some,
rudders. They're
or-
more rudders than wings.
and then sometimes you think you're making love to a penguin and you find yourself humping a body pillow. These things happen.
Exactly.
or why is there a penguin in my living room?
There's a penguin on the television. The daily Monty Python reference. I've got to throw one in every day.
No, you
These
don't.
ridiculous theories are started by people doing actual nefarious things behind the scenes. I want people arguing about, yeah, you've got a good point there, Mark Rigger. You've really got a good point. Are they just distractions?
Yeah.
Are these conspiracy theories just distractions from finding out the truth?
Depends.
Yeah.
Which truth are you looking for? The real
Ah.
truth, the artificial truth, or the
Well,
untruth?
truth is a
The lie.
three-edged sword. Remembering truth is a three-edged sword. Your truth, their truth, and the real truth.
Yes.
And we've gotten into heavy philosophy and existentialism now.
Yeah, I think it was going to go this far. Who started this flat earther shit?
Like,
Uh,
how do we
who's-
know that the color green for me is the same as the color green for you?
Mm.
How do we know we
point.
experience it the same way?
Don, it's called Shamrock
Yes.
Green.
Is that the movie Flatline, Mark, or the general terminologies? Because I know that there was a movie
Is that
called Flatline.
To be or
I know
not
there's
to
also
be?
a book one.
Pee or not to pee?
That's
Yeah,
a
but where
question
do we go?
That's a question
Steve.
from often
Hello,
already.
Steve.
Pee or not to
What?
pee?
what?
Yes. Whether it is the
Oh, philosophy. If we're talking philosophy, let's get Steve up here.
Penguins can
But
fly
we can-
underwater.
we can go into the philosophical things like Bertrand Russell, or we could just go
God, I
into
think I was on
the gen-
mushrooms.
Yeah, and then we can get into sort of Plato,
What-
Aristotle.
What are you printing, Joe?
Oh God, Rigger with the whole
Liz Payne.
reptilian shapeshifters.
Yes.
Jesus. That whole damn argument is just weird.
I just got a project.
Like I said, if you want a
My
little
son-
fun, oh, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. Now, my son just asked me to send pictures to his wife of him like a year apart as much as I have from 1 year old to 18 and give her the ages and all that. So how do you think I'm gonna remember that?
What's up, Steve?
Shut
Now,
up.
if you guys want a really interesting conspiracy theory to go down, watch the thing about the Denver airport.
Mhm.
If you want a little rabbit hole to go down later.
Been down
If
that
you
one.
want to know about the Denver airport, just ask Art. from
I've already,
Art
yes,
Code
I've
Drones.
actually,
No,
I've actually asked him about that. I've had a discussion with him.
No,
on that.
there's a whole claim
Denver
of a
airport.
underground military base there, and
Yeah.
if you go in there, they got all these like satanic and weird cryptic like paintings and shit on the walls. And
I've already been
weird
down
statues.
I've been down that rabbit hole.
And then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
paintings and the
Several hours of
statue
it.
and the
Dominic?
paintings and the statues aren't like a conspiracy. They're actually there. They're just really weird.
Mm.
Dominic,
Yeah.
what did you find?
It really depends on how you interpret them, because they are in plain sight.
That's kind of a
all
loaded
about
question
how
because
you-
that's a big conspiracy.
It's how you interpret them as well.
Like you really have to watch it for yourself to even scratch the surface. of
As
the
I said,
whole
I've
thing.
only seen it from a camera point of view, but I'd like to physically go to the Denver airport and feel it for myself, because there are many things there that you can only see, you would only see in, say, 2 dimensions. But once you're actually there, and you could feel the vibe of the place too. Yes. Yes, Steve, I go down that rabbit hole and conspiracies far too often on YouTube. And
But
it's
yeah,
a-
one of the biggest things is how much over budget they went on that airport.
Mm,
It was like way over budget by billions of dollars, and
yeah, what did they
there's
spend it
claim
on?
they claim that there's buildings that are 3 or 4 stories hidden underground and tunnels going everywhere. Yeah, it's this whole
Yep.
damn thing. It's a
Yep.
weird little thing to watch. Well, I've seen tons of YouTubers
Well,
have actually gone through the airport and filmed all the paintings on the walls, the different statues
Hmm.
they have, and it's just weird
Hmm.
because it doesn't really go with the theme of an airport.
Exactly.
I mean, anything that you would consider a theme for an airport.
Mm,
Steve,
exactly.
I'm sure there are a few rabbit holes there in California.
Well, there are many places.
I'm sure most countries have their rabbit holes.
You only have to, New Mexico.
Oh,
Do I have to
Yeah,
mention?
rabbit holes. If they have rabbits.
are you talking about the Area 51?
No, because
No, that's in Nevada.
That's
That's in
Nevada.
Nevada.
I'm talking about.
You're talking about Roswell.
Albuquerque,
Oh, Roswell.
Rachel, and Roswell. You only have to look at those three parts of New Mexico. Then you can go to Nevada, and
then
we
watch-
just work our way.
Watch that 2.5 hour thing that Joe Rogan did with David Grush on Spotify. You can
Yeah.
watch it for free. And
Yeah,
watch that
you can
whole
go
2.5 hour
Joe
thing.
Rogan
That
on
was
that.
really interesting.
Louis Theroux has done many documentaries on that area and various other areas that you dot your way around the military bases of the US. White Sands is another one. White Sands Air Force Base, Vandenberg Air Force Base. What's the other one? No, can't seem to think of it. But there's about 4 or 5 you could easily ask.
Rigger.
questions about.
Mark.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
If there's one thing I could see before I die, would be an alien invasion. That'd be pretty cool. Not even gonna
As
lie.
in Independence Day or when Mars attacks?
Mexicans.
Well, oh, for fuck's sake.
They both have aliens attacking us.
No, now you got to go by what kind of. It's like if you wanted to experience a zombie movie, which type of zombies would you want?
Mm.
Would you want like Walking Dead, or do you want the crazy ass ones from what was the Umbrella Corporation? What was the name of those movies? Ah, fuck. Can't think of the name of the movies.
You mean the show
Um,
company?
Well, the name of the
Umbrella Company.
The name of the
Umbrella
company
Corp.
in the movie was Umbrella Corporation. I just can't think of the movie.
Yeah, it had the girl from Multipass girl.
But yeah, and
based on a video game,
yes.
Laura says
Rigger,
not Silent Hill.
Rigger, that would be Walking Dead.
And the other one is it's not just America. We can come to Australia and talk about Pine Gap, and then we can go to England and talk about Rendlesham Forest.
Is there going to be
They're the
another
other two.
Oh, Pine Gap's an interesting one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that one. Is there going to
Oh.
be another season?
No, they canceled that like 3 or 4 years ago. They only did one
No, what a
season.
shame.
I watched that like a year and a half ago. That was good.
Yeah, it pissed me off because they ended on a cliffhanger and they canceled the show. It was actually a really good show.
I'm like, why'd you cancel it if you're might be getting decent ratings out of it? I'm like,
I don't know.
Obviously, they got too close to the truth.
If you want to
Dude,
talk about England, Dominic, yeah, there's actually a place, right? And everybody wonders if it actually does exist because there's a signpost on the end of a road that says secret nuclear bunker, and then it points to it.
Yeah, World War Z.
Secret.
Those ones
You
were
mean
bad.
secret nuclear bunker right down here?
No, it's the road arrow signs. It actually gives you directions to it.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yes.
Thank
See,
you.
the zombies in Resident Evil were fucking insane.
Mhm.
Those were some wild ass zombies.
And
So,
28 days
That's what-
later, they were pretty.
Russell,
The rage
yeah.
virus.
What's up,
or
Russell?
I Am Legend. Those were pretty wild.
yeah.
Although I don't know if those are really considered zombies.
There's a
No,
rumor
because
that-
they actually had their own.
It was cancer
Yeah.
patients that got a treatment that fucked their messed
Well,
them all up.
Not only they were more vampires than anything, and they weren't monsters. At the end, he finds out that they can actually communicate with each other, and that he was
Right.
the only one left, and he was actually just killing them, and he was wrong.
There's also
and then we can-
Dracula.
Yeah, and then we can go slightly sideways to the Isaac Asimov book and movie I, Robot.
Oh
We
yes,
can go,
that's
we can go
good.
sideways and, AI goes rogue.
Here you go, Andrew.
Yeah.
Go that way.
Yeah.
Paul Murray, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's great.
I'm gonna go fix some salmon. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye, Don.
You're gonna
I'm
salmon sandwich?
Nope, just grilled salmon. Don't know what kind of sauce I'm gonna build. Make
Oh, yeah,
for it yet.
Cheyenne
Maybe
Mountain.
glaze or something, but
Yeah,
don't know
that
yet.
was the other one I was thinking of.
Don,
Cheyenne
just find
Mountain.
something tasty to put
Couldn't
on.
think of the name of it, but yeah, I got
I'm gonna
it.
figure out some sort of glaze to make. Don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, Cheyenne Mountain's pretty crazy.
As I said, I couldn't think of the name of that one.
David, do you see what Mark White put in the chat about England?
Yeah, I'm gonna go there on that one.
You got aliens and boats? Nice.
No. It's talking about illegal migration. It's not a road to go. I don't want to go down.
Okay.
Well,
It opens a lot of cans of worms. Just don't do it. And it can also get YouTube.
I won't go there. I don't know if somebody else will.
No, don't do that.
Dan?
Dan?
why would Dan care about what's going on in England?
Because isn't he a conspiracy guy, Justin?
No. It's not conspiracy. It's a big.
No, he's talking about legit immigration, not aliens.
Not real aliens. No one's floating in from outer space, parking up at the nuclear bunker site, and heading off towards Chippinonga.
All right, guys, I'm out.
You
I'll get
leaving?
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he left with a cough.
He's out of here.
So, David, how's Laura's cough?
What cough?
She said she might be coming down with a cough.
Yeah, she was talking about a cough earlier on
Again.
her stream.
We won't go down that dark road. She hasn't
Okay.
been coughing.
Okay.
See what you've done now? You've got me in trouble.
What?
She's shouting at me from the other room, going, "I have got a cough. I've been coughing all night. I've got a coughing fit." Oh, she's here.
Did you just not hear me coughing?
No.
Hey, Laura, this may come as a news break, a news flash, but he tunes you out regularly.
Oh, shh.
Paul's got a point.
Hello.
Uh, East Coast Thrills says, I am from Mars and we've been invaded.
Still think Dominic's AI.
Dominic is?
Uh,
Well, what now? What's the theory behind that?
He's always on everybody's panels. He don't sleep.
Very little
He
sleep.
does have a point.
He is everywhere.
Dominic is everywhere.
Mhm.
He's like the Duke of the internet.
Oh, what was the name of the AI from the Terminator movie?
Skynet.
Skynet. He's like Skynet. He's everywhere.
He's just the mafia of the panels. That's all. He's Italian. Don't upset him.
Are you Italian?
Yes.
David, are you Italian?
No.
He's something.
We're all something.
I'm not sure what he is, but he's something.
A mix. A mix of several things.
No.
Oh. I'm turning the heating off.
Enjoy the cold, woman.
I'm about to get in bed with 2 duvets.
Is it that cold?
Yep.
Hmm.
Not as cold as where Paul is, but it's cold.
Right
Well,
now it is 41 Fahrenheit.
And it's
It's
Celsius.
only, well, it's 60 here.
Yeah, we need it in Celsius, if you don't mind.
Can't be bothered converting it.
16. It's 16
Yeah,
Celsius here.
It is 5 Celsius here.
Oh, it's warmer than us. No, how long my hair is on my back.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, Tim.
What did Tim put?
Tim said, I'm the town drunk.
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
But we wouldn't have it any other way.
There is that.
Is it cold over there, Joe?
43.
Ah,
Conversion.
So that'll be 22 tomorrow.
So if it's 43, what's that, Dominic?
43 is probably about 8 or 9, I'd say. Or just
Dominic is our mathematician, which is why we know he's AI. You can ask him anything and he can
He's
convert.
probably got chat thingy up at the side of him and just ask him. I've done that before.
just quickly doing it in my head. About 6.
6.
well,
6 and small change.
Yeah. What is it where you are, Paul?
Cold.
You're
Oh, you-
muted, Paul.
He's muted.
Paul, you're muted.
It's
Paul, you're muted.
it's
Cold.
at 23 degrees. It warmed up.
What?
Ooh.
It was 0.
You mean
Right, 23 in Fahrenheit. So
Well, that's because it's coming up because it's going to snow all night.
Minus
It's
5.
it's
so you're
negative.
-5, Paul, and we're -2.
You're not far off each other.
What?
then.
Marie says it's minus.
Odds Paul has similar temperature to what David's temperature is right now.
We're in the north. We're
Northern Hemisphere.
normal,
Same.
more or less.
It's all about latitude.
Well, that
Well-
explains a lot.
But where Paul's going to go colder in the next few days,
Look at
we're going to get warmer.
what Steve Carpenter put. It's freezing 63 degrees here.
Shut up, Steve.
60,
63 degrees is freezing.
63 is basically what we're at. But we're in January. We're supposed to be
Well-
in the middle of the hottest month of the year.
Well, I wonder if I should send the picture. This is for the wedding shower. I wonder if I should send a picture of him when he was like 2.5 years old, sitting on a potty.
Do it.
If you want to embarrass them, you can send that.
Where are these pictures going?
They're gonna be in they're having a shower, like a wedding shower for him, for the
Right.
couple on Saturday. So they're gonna show pictures of them as they were growing up.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Like Staples or CVS does good pictures.
No, they don't. You gotta go to somebody like Walmart with a Fuji machine. Gotta have a Fuji machine.
Oh. So I used to do calendars at Sam's Club until
Yeah,
the
Sam's
big
Club.
calendar machine crashed. And then they lost orders.
Hmm.
Alexa should be called Dominic.
Thank you.
Can you imagine going, hey, Dominic?
31 Celsius.
This isn't my bed.
Yeah, I need 18 pictures. I've got 11 so far up to
Oh,
2008.
Tim.
I can't go past. He was born in '94. I can't go back those 3 years. 'Cause I don't have digital. I have from '97 on.
It's 81 Fahrenheit and 99% humidity at Tim's house.
He's at work.
31 degrees Celsius. And that's what we're supposed to be having.
I think Dominic's making us see what our summer's going to be like.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, we'll see what Mother Nature brings.
3 degrees below average.
As he lives in
Basically.
corporate.
Well, next week right now it's 42, and next week it's supposed to get up to 60.
We're supposed to be in the hundreds. This date, 8 years ago, it was 100.4. It's now 60. There's your difference. Unbelievable.
Tim, what if you drink Gatorade? Or
Yeah, I did that the other
Powerade.
day.
or mix
When
Gatorade
was
with
it,
water?
Tuesday?
Or
Trying to
liquid
remember if
IV or something.
Tuesday?
You need liquid IV or something, Tim.
Tuesday was like 30, 31. Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Me tomorrow.
Actually, we're gonna have our day of summer next week. So
Day of summer.
yeah, we have our weekly day of summer.
One day a
Well,
week where it's hot.
David comes on here all the time with that background going. Makes me think he's praying for snow all the time.
Are you praying for snow?
No, I've actually have the background in support of Paul.
So is Laura praying for snow?
Definitely not.
Oh,
She says this, right? She says this, but the moment one snowflake falls out the sky, I can guarantee she's in the window with the camera going, "Oh, it's snowing!"
Hey, Laura, I want to hear your. We heard David's side of the story about you going to the Teletubby convention or something, or what?
Oh, Tesco.
eh?
Oh no!
Right.
I went to Tesco's yesterday, well, the supermarket, and there was Teletubby shopping in there.
Well, did you dress up in Teletubby stuff?
What, to go and do my grocery shopping? I don't
Yeah,
think.
Well, if it's
that's
warm,
what David said. He says he was shaking his head saying, Laura's off in a Teletubby outfit going shopping.
No, Laura wasn't. Laura got the.
Here on the table.
Wasn't you wearing your pajamas?
No, just my pajama top. I put.
Okay, so she was wearing dark pajamas in the supermarket late in the evening, and she bumps into the Teletubbies.
I got a picture of them.
So how was it? What did it catch you by surprise or what?
It was a strange thing to see in a grocery store at
Ronnie.
10 at night.
They were all dressed up as Teletubbies.
It's just a normal day in Basildon.
It was a stag do.
Okay.
Do you have such a thing over there, Dominic, or what?
Well, during COVID, a lot of people would be dressed in their bathrobes and slippers, and they were going to the supermarket.
What's the point of getting dressed?
Put it this way, right? Could you imagine Paul Hodges actually driving a school bus in the UK, right? He pulls up outside the bus stop to pick up the kids, right? All the kids are fully dressed, ready for school, and all the parents are in the slippers and PJs going, we're going back home, back to bed.
Yep.
That's what it's like in the UK.
I can understand.
3:00 in the afternoon, when they go to pick the kids up, they're still in the PJs.
Wow.
I can understand that.
Let's not forget the Wiggles.
Yes.
What?
The
The
Wiggles.
What the hell's the Wiggles?
You don't know the Wiggles?
It's an old young kids
It's
music
not old. They still film the
They're
Wiggles.
still around.
There's a
They've had a few lineup changes though.
every now and then they get the originals. They get the originals back together and they do a
Yep.
tour.
Right.
Yeah.
You remember that song I showed you where the girl got in trouble because it sounds like she's saying the wrong word at the beginning?
No.
Yeah.
You said.
You said no. You share so many videos with me. I can't remember anything.
Over my head. I don't ever hear the Wiggles.
Oh,
I sent it to Dominic as
Right.
well.
okay. But Paul, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Right. Over my head. Right. I'm still struggling to get past Postman Pat.
The only thing that got my attention when you say the Wiggles is when I used to go to a strip bar when I was a young kid, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Now,
that
the Wiggles were actually a musical group, and then three of the four went on to become the Wiggles.
oh, for God's sake, even Mudball knows what they are. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we know. Mudball
Wiggles?
does keep an eye on. Yeah,
The
you've
Wiggles,
never
you
seen
ever heard of the Wiggles?
Were they worms?
No,
wiggly,
no.
wiggly worms.
musical group.
The Wiggles. I put them on my fishing
And
hook.
there's
Big-
loads of
The Big
songs.
Red Taxi. You don't know
Dominic,
the Big Red Taxi.
to,
Oh,
let's
interesting.
go back to a theory here. Was
There
Paul
you go. There's the Wiggles. The
Right.
Wikipedia.
to mislead us?
Right.
Because when Postman Pat goes on his round, the person's always in. He never launches the package over the back wall, never leaves it
Yeah.
on the doorstep, hides it in the bin. They're always in. Right? When does that happen?
Mm.
I don't know. We don't use bins and we don't have it pitched over the wall or, you know, that kind of.
What do
you-
they
you-
call a
you're
taxi in
inherited it.
London? What do they call the taxis in London?
Taxis.
Cabs.
Cabs. Hackney
was thinking-
carriages.
Yeah.
Well,
Carriages.
well,
No.
in the
Oh,
in the
carriages.
movies, they,
Yeah, that's
in
it.
the movies
No.
they always say taxi in
Yeah.
London.
Right. Yes. If you're flagging down a taxi or a Hackney
Shout
carriage,
taxi.
right?
Taxi.
What kind of carriage?
Hackney.
Hackney.
Now, that's
What's a Hackney carriage?
It's named
It's an-
after a place in London.
Can I explain? Right. Hackney is an area of London where the taxis first was invented, right? Or these taxis were first
Yeah.
used. Now, a Hackney carriage is normally black with in a funny shape. They have their own unique shape.
We've
However,
got those over here now.
some towns don't have Hackney carriages anymore. They just have taxis, right? And if they have to be a certain colour to be able to flag them down, you can't. In the UK now, you can't just stand at the side of the road and go taxi, unless it's a Hackney carriage.
Yeah. How's a yellow?
That's New York, isn't it? Yeah, it's
No,
not.
we have yellow cabs.
Yeah. It's not
And
like
they are
in New
generally-
York where they just jump out and go, taxi! And like 15 taxis pull up.
Well, Times Square, yeah.
Yeah. Over here, you shout taxi, they all turn around and go off the opposite way, right? Or you ring them up and they'll go, we'll be with you in 15 minutes. 4 hours later, you're still on the phone. Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then wonder why
Same thing
Uber's
here.
so popular.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Uber and Lyft are so popular.
I don't know. I can tell it, Rod, I'm getting old because all this new jingle jangle talk and lingo.
You know, though, if you're in New York City, you bloody well shouldn't be taking a taxi.
Be quicker walking, wouldn't it?
Take the subway.
I
The taxi. Well, today it probably cost you $3 just to sit down in the taxi.
Yeah.
Not even
Freight
go
forward.
anywhere. It's $3 just to
Yeah.
get in it.
But
And
sometimes there'll be
it's about a
The
$3
train
freight
ticket,
forward,
the,
yeah.
the
could
subway
be-
ticket is probably like $2.50, and you can go anywhere in New York City. So
Yeah.
you know it's better to just go catch the subway
could
and walk
be-
to wherever you're
Right.
going.
But it is the
could be
same over
one-
here.
It could be 1 to 4 blocks between where you want to get off and where you want to go.
Mm.
Well, there's a point, but the tax is the same here. If you get in a taxi now, it's actually £5.20 just to get in. If you got in,
Yeah.
if you got in, sat in the seat and got back out, they charge you £5.20.
Yeah. Yeah. We call that
Even
flag
if it doesn't
fall.
move.
And it's a different fall at each time of the day as well.
Drops
See you,
off.
Andrew.
Oh, Andrew. Bye, Andrew.
Bye, Andrew.
Wait, Andrew.
Does anyone else think that something strange is going on here? Everyone's
Yeah,
just
people just
immediately
keep-
dropping off.
They
I
just
think
keep
that
dropping off.
conversation we had earlier, they're popping us off.
Yeah.
No, I think it's 7 o'clock, and a lot of people. Is anybody else on a Thursday night? Is anybody else
Not
doing
yet.
live?
Heron's coming on in an hour.
He's on in an hour. 1 hour.
And I don't think Brant is doing his hour before the hour today, is he?
He did a replay.
Oh, got it. So
He just replayed an old episode.
I bet Joe can't call a taxi. I bet he can call an Uber, but I bet he can't call a taxi.
Got a point.
It's kind of that way here in Daytona. I don't even know that there's a taxi service.
Actually,
Uber-
Mandeville
Uber
does
and-
have a taxi service.
Uber and
It's
Lyft.
3 of
here.
them.
And we have Uber and Lyft. I don't know that. As
got
long as I've been
Uber.
here, I'm like, I don't remember seeing a taxi.
We've got Silver Top, Uber, and Yellow Cabs.
You know, Uber and Lyft is the greatest thing ever. You know how many drunk driving hasn't occurred because Uber and Lyft exist now? Because it's so easy to be at the bar and be drunk and hit the app thing and go, I did it right.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of Facebook and people posting crap, right,
Bollocks.
making up stories, right, Uber has a bad reputation over here. I've never had a problem with a Uber. If I order an Uber, it arrives on time. It tells me how much it's charging me. It's never over.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's actually under, right? However, people post online, "Oh, I got in an Uber and he went off on a random mystery tour and charged me loads of money." Yeah, or
It can't do that because Uber won't
No.
do that. They won't
can't.
let the driver charge any more than what they've told you they were going to.
exactly, and it follows,
Unless it's surge pricing.
and they get told the route they have to go unless there's a problem.
Right. Their app tells them exactly where to drive.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
We have surge pricing over here too.
What's that?
Surge pricing.
What's that?
It's a multiplier.
Oh,
Just
yeah, yeah,
it-
yeah. If there's a bunch going on, then you'll get charged a few extra. But you'll know that as soon as you click the order on the app.
Get that on the app.
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you that.
yeah.
But
And
if I
especially if there's a special event or an important event, they'll just multiply it.
yeah, but if I
Sometimes it can be 5 or 6 times.
But if I get an Hackney carriage or any taxi over here, they charge you your £5.20 to get in, and then I think it's 20 pence or 40 pence every so often. It's like
Yeah,
every,
and
and it goes up. Now they're the ones that can go off route and take different
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they
Yeah,
are
there's
well
different
known
flag
for it
falls.
over here.
Yeah,
If-
there's different flagfall numbers on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
If you guys ever come to the UK and can get off at the airport, get the train to the and get off at the train station, when you walk out of the train station, you have to pretend you're confident. You have to pretend you know where you're going, and try and talk in a proper English accent, because the taxi drivers, if they know you're foreign or a tourist, they're taking you on a magical mystery tour, whether you like it or
That's what
not.
they do. And that's what they do here.
Oh my God. LaGuardia Airport in New York City. If you don't tell those bastards to take the Triborough Bridge, which is right there next to LaGuardia, and then go down the FDR, which is on the east side of Manhattan, they would literally take you down the Brooklyn Queens Highway through Brooklyn and all the way down and then around and back. And it's way freaking longer.
Mm.
You'll still get to where you're going, but
Hi, Marie.
unless you know to
Say,
tell them
Marie.
go across the Triborough, they're going to take you the other way every time and make another $15 out of you. Those dirty bastards.
Well, we've got a sky bus, so that makes it easier.
They
Stuck
talk
it on the
about
bus and
building
the sky bus puts you straight into the city.
Yeah, they're talking
Right.
about
What's
building
the
a
Sky Bus?
water taxi from LaGuardia to
What's the Sky
Manhattan.
Bus? The monorail?
No, it's a bus.
Right. But is it just called Skybus as a brand, or is it?
Why does it
Sky
have
Bus
the
is the
thing
name.
on top where you sit
No.
up on top?
No,
No.
sky
Why
bus
would
is
they
just
call
a
it a Sky
normal
Bus?
normal Greyhound bus, and it goes from it has its own little bus lanes and everything, and it takes
I know what
20
you're on about.
minutes.
Yeah.
Takes 20 minutes to go from Tullamarine, which is the main airport. It goes down the freeway, but freeway has its own little bus lane, and into the Central Business District, which is Southern Cross Station, which is just around the corner from where I'm sitting now.
Well, I'm guessing in
about
the
30
US
minutes.
it's still the same. You guys don't have bus routes, do you? You know, like we do over here. You know, every town has its own bus station, and they do runs to local areas. So if I wanted to
Yeah,
go
well-
from here to Laura's parents, I would get the bus from here to the town centre, and then the town centre out to Laura's mum's area. Yeah. Do you
we've
have that,
got
Dominic?
buses, trams, and trains. We've got
Yeah.
buses, trams, and trains.
But do your buses go around the local housing estates?
Yeah, we've
Stuff.
got local. We've got what's called the community bus, and they've also got what's called it's not necessarily there's three sort of scenarios where you can have a local bus, the community bus, and then you've got the public transport buses.
Well, we have
Mm.
the community bus, which is the one you ring like dial a ride, but more for disabled. We have
Yeah.
the local buses, or as they've now called them down here, shuttle services. Then we have the between town services, so Basildon to Southend, Southend to
we call
Colchester.
that V line. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have National Express or Megabus, and they run from town to town. They'll drop you off at a certain town, and then you have to
Yeah,
get
we
the-
go from that's our state to state.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have them here in the Daytona area. It's actually Volusia County. It's at the county level that run the buses, but they don't run them from city to city. They just run them in the local communities.
Yeah. Well, I can get a bus here tomorrow. Well, say I got up at tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I can get on a bus and I could probably get to Manchester probably by 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Just by hopping onto different services.
Well, I can go from Melbourne to Sydney, Melbourne to Brisbane, Melbourne to Adelaide, Melbourne to Perth, but you wouldn't want to be sitting on a bus for 30 plus hours.
No.
Yeah, in the US, it's called a Greyhound. Greyhound
Yeah.
is the one that does the longer bus routes.
Yeah, we've got great. Yeah,
city
we've got
to city,
Greyhound
state
buses
to
as well.
state, whatever. So,
But if you're actually going to do the Melbourne to Perth you can only do it on the train, on the
oh
Overlander,
my
because
God, that is such a long way.
37 hours.
The only
37
That's a long
hours.
trade ride too.
Yeah. The only downside to the UK bus network is the bus companies can change the route as and when they want. Yeah. So you get used to it, and then suddenly they go, nah, we're not going there now. Or they'll go, you get used to it
And we
being
have the
every
bus replacement as well.
Yeah. And we have like buses that run every 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever in certain areas.
Ours are every 20.
Yeah. But we have pretty good. But sometimes, like Wickford, it has a population of 48,000. And they deem that only needs a bus every 20 minutes during the day. In fact, in Wickford, you can go anywhere during the day. But at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, nothing. You can't go.
Our stop at midnight.
Yeah, they do local here, but Wickford, it doesn't, where we used to live. It's weird.
Well, we've got a regional town, Melbourne to Geelong. It's every 20 minutes, and it takes an hour to get to, and that's our regional centre. But if the other one, if you want to, you can take a train from Melbourne to Sydney, and it's called the XPT, and it'll take 12 hours.
The strange thing is as well, if you're in London itself, the buses are every 2 minutes, most of them. Yeah. In the centre of London, they're every 3 seconds. Then you've got the Bolt services up and down the Thames. You've got the DLR, the driverless trains, the underground, the overground, the Emirates airline, which is one of the most weirdest things. You can actually use your bus pass on it. If you use the bus, it'll take you 20 minutes to get to the other side. On the Emirates airline, you've got to spiral up, climb up, wait for your turn, get on it, get to the other end, get off, and go all the way. It takes about an hour. It's like, really? I'll just get the bus.
So we've got the metropolitan services where you can use the Mikey card, which is like the Oyster card, and you can use that on buses, trams, and trains. You can also use that on the V line, which is the regional services, but it's a higher charge once you get out of the metro area. So some of the trains, the metropolitan trains, only go to a certain distance, and then you have to get off there and get on the V line, which is the dedicated service to various regional areas.
That's like our Oyster card. Then you can use that on any public transport in London.
Yeah.
But once you get to the edge of London, the Greater London area,
you get the multiplier.
Well, they don't. They just stop dead. You can't use your Oyster card after that point.
Ours you can.
Another ticket.
It's a heavy multiplier because it's like $5. I think it's $5 a day for metro. But once you move, because that's zone 1 and zone 2. Once you go into zone 3, 4, or 5, that's where the heavy multiplier comes in.
Won't it be interesting how all of this is going to work once we have the eVTOLs flying taxis?
Yeah, I'd love one of those.
The price is going to be really high initially, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be it's for rich people who are writing it off as a business expense.
The flying bus is going to be an interesting one because you're down here and the bus is up there and you're going, "Oi, yo!" What?
The other one, we've got trackless trams, otherwise known as buses.
Oh, I've seen them with a big stick sticking out.
Trackless train, yeah.
That's the original electric bus.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody jokes about it.
You need trolleys like San Francisco. You just need the
That's what they are. They're like that. The trolleys, what we call trams.
Yeah, we used to have that sort of trolley, but now they're really big because the trams are made here. And those trams can take up to 100, 150 people.
Maybe Tesla build a bus. The self-driving bus.
They've already
We've got electric buses here.
We have the driverless buses that they're testing out in Milton Keynes, which seems to be the test centre for everything. Because we've already got the driverless trains. And these driverless buses, they actually run on a certain track, like a track, but not a track. It's got curbs. I don't.
It's got something in the road itself.
Yeah, and if somebody runs in front of it, it will just instantly stop.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the person that run in front of the bus was not run over, not killed, but everybody on the freaking bus has been thrown to the front.
We just had that recently because we probably once a week will have some idiot try and do a U-turn in front of a tram and didn't see it, and you'll see the driver just go straight through the car, and then all the people on the tram go all to the front.
Well, we had a tram disaster a couple of years ago in Croydon. The tram was supposed to slow down, but the tram driver, I think, was on his phone, didn't realise where he was, and actually sped up, and he went round a really tight corner and tipped the tram over.
Remember our security stuff we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
You know, the car automation driving stuff and sensors. And you know, if you wanted to be a bad guy, obviously hacking into a car and or a truck, wrecking a truck on the bridge, going, close all the bridges and tunnels, causing accidents in like New York or some big city. Take your pick on that. That's the scary part of all this automation, and sort of the security thing on those sensors.
Well,
I kind of wonder, the easiest thing in the world for some of the bad guys to do, just as for example, you know how the anti-collision sensors are there, right?
Yeah. Well, Hot Rod, let me coin a phrase that Paul often says. Thank God I won't be around to see that.
Yeah, exactly. But I've often wondered whether a bad guy couldn't fool those sensors to end up causing vehicles to cause accidents, right?
Or hack into them.
Yeah, you don't even necessarily have to hack into them, Paul. Those anti-collision sensors, right?
Huh?
What if you created a device that fed that exact same sensor signal at the sensor? And there may not be enough security in those sensors to know that signal that's coming back at them isn't from them.
Right. Yeah.
If they don't put a serialization number into the signal so that they know that signal is actually them, they could be picking up somebody else. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of things I don't think those people have thought about in the crap that they built. They're just trying to get it to work.
You can bet Rod, the bad guys are thinking about that all the time.
Oh, I know they're thinking about it. If I'm sitting here thinking about it as a guy who worked in that world, I know they are.
Yeah. Well, like the bad guys rule, where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
The good guys is where there's a way, we'll think about it later.
But seriously, self-driving cars, and I've told quite a few people this, to me, if you're the bad guys and the Islamists that want to come over here and do bad damage, all we're doing is creating things and systems that are going to probably be really freaking easy for them to attack.
Got the one for
and use against
guided
us.
busway.
What's that?
Mark R. White has said about the ones in Manchester where he is up north. They're called the guided busway.
The guided busway. Okay, that makes sense.
It's where
because they have sensors on the road.
Yeah, there are some points where it can go off, off route, but in most, it's literally guided by the curbs, and and this new thing in London that is ridiculous. They've now brought in the floating bus stop.
Yes.
And it's like, what's the floating bus stop? It means you can stand anywhere, at the side of the road, and it's a bus stop.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So you're going to get buses now. They're going to be going along the road. They're going to see a crowd of people and go, ooh, pull over, and they're going to go, no, we're in the pub, mate. We're having a drink.
So it's a bus that's a taxi. Got it.
It's effectively the same, yeah.
Just a big taxi.
Well, that's all buses are, aren't they? They just don't go where you want them to.
Anyways, and long time ago, Microsoft pulled out of the whole auto software stuff, and the reason that they gave, and it's 100% correct, the only way we're ever going to get that to work with the self-driving cars and all of that stuff is like those buses. The infrastructure has to be able to talk to the cars.
Exactly.
Those sensors can't see around a parked car. Those sensors can't see around a building, right? We can't see around the building. The sensors can't see around the building to see that some idiot going 100 miles an hour down the cross street is going to T-bone your ass. And until everything in the infrastructure, the lights, the road, the guardrails, until everything can kind of talk to everything else to kind of know where everything is going.
Right.
It's never, ever going to be.
I just want to stop something a minute. Just as that camera's panning round, Paul's got a light shining back off his TV behind him. And as it got to that little lighthouse thing, it looked like a flame coming out of it. I was like, what the hell's going on there? It turns out it's just the light going across.
It's a reflection, yeah.
But anyways, until the infrastructure can talk to the cars and, you know, they can talk to each other and talk to cars around the corner, right? The sensors literally can't visibly see it. We know there are things they just can't visibly see. Here's the other part. Here's the other part, which is the human calculation. And I heard one lady who was involved in creating that software that just, God, I would not want to have to make that decision. You're a car.
Yeah.
Some lady with a baby carriage comes out from your right.
The other thing as well, Rod.
And well, you have a choice. You can hit the lady with the baby carriage, but if you dodge left, hey, grandma's walking across the road. Who do you kill? Who do you run over? This is the moral dilemma in creating some of that software.
Exactly.
That's the age-old dilemma.
But that's what I was just about to say. A lot of these driverless stuff are created in America for American roads, and that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but the infrastructure in Europe isn't the same.
Yeah, but the roads over here are not the same. When they realize you've got your driverless car that's going along, and HIP thinks, because Google has, got the map saying it can turn left, it will turn left. Unfortunately, the council only yesterday made it one way go the other way. Yeah. You're going to have cars just turning into each other.
This is where the infrastructure has to be part of the solution. So the car knows that, hey, the council turned it and you can't turn that way, right?
Yeah, but it has to be instant. And unfortunately,
no, agree.
Unfortunately, like we're saying with the laws and the rules and everything, we don't do things instantly.
This is why you need the human driver regardless.
You out there, Dom?
I'm going to drop off, so I'll see you.
Okay,
Dom.
You have to, you stayed too long now. You missed out the Hitman fight exit.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is the interesting thing, the self-driving vehicles. Okay, we've got self-driving maintenance vehicles in shopping malls or in large department stores where they go around and they're always cleaning the floors, but they go real slow.
Yeah, they're based on sensors.
Yeah, we don't want them over here. Oh God, no.
Washing and waxing the floors. Yep. They're nice and slow.
They're an HR nightmare.
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about vacation time or anything.
Oh, what the hell are those machines at hockey games?
Zambonis?
Yeah, the Zambonis. Can't you wait for the day when it's driverless Zamboni?
Yeah.
One less person they have to pay. And that's kind of the way the businesses look at it. They're buying automation.
Yeah, it's like the self-checkouts now. They're everywhere. Right?
Yeah, they're about to disappear.
Well, yeah, they started slowly disappearing because, for a while, they was like, oh, great. We're not paying 6 members of staff to sit at the till now. We're paying no one or one person to watch them tills. And then what was happening is the customers are coming along and going, boop, and they would just put something on the scales to say that they've put something on there and not put the item on there. Yeah. Or put a more expensive item on instead of the.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's got to lose. And people, they've even seen people, they'll scan a couple of items, pay, and then walk off with a basket full of shopping.
Yeah, but see here, over here, I don't know how you do it over there, but here the self-checkout, you do the self-checkout, then you get checked at the door. They go around and they check everything in the cart with an electric wand.
Oh, they do the random checks over here, but they've
No,
also
they're pretty serious here. They count them and look at them.
Yeah. You see, Amazon brought out these stores that you can go in and you would pick up a bottle of Coke and it would charge you instantly. Poof, done. Right? It knows it's you and everything else. But then people realized if you walk closely right behind someone and as they reach over to grab something, you grab theirs. If you're not logged in to the Amazon system, you grab something at the same time, it's charging them in front of you because the system would automatically think they picked up too.
Isn't it amazing what links humans go to be dishonest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously, you don't have it. Seriously, you don't have enough integrity to be honest.
Exactly. You know what?
It just amazes me. I mean,
I always give back. If I see someone drop money, I'll go and chase after them and give it them back and everything. And the amount of times I've gone back into a supermarket and gone, you've given me too much change, or you've not charged me for this. And they look at me going, why are you coming back? Because they expect you to be dishonest.
you know, I've told a few people, I think it's time for humanity to nuke itself and start over because the amount of garbage that goes on is just unreal.
Everything's about trying to get something for nothing these days.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I've seen people deliberately walk in when I worked at Asda, deliberately walk in, tip water on the floor, walk around the end, and then somebody else walk in straight behind them and deliberately slide in it.
That's just so they can do a slip and fall.
Exactly. And the supermarkets for a while would just instantly go, oh, how bad. Here's a compo. Yeah. Now they're fighting back. You know, it's just dishonest everywhere you go. Like I said the other month, the bus crash I saw, there was 4 people in the car that the bus hit. There was about 4 or 5 people on the bus. And I was on another bus that witnessed it. So I had to give a statement, you know, for the insurance. And when they sent me the document I had to sign, they claimed there was 58 people on the bus. I was like, where the hell did all them come from? It's just people that heard about the accident and claimed to be on the bus. You know, but now they're fighting back. The bus driver, when you get on and tap on, it will say to the bus driver, you got 48 people on the bus. And as you get off, the driver has to hit the button to say 5 people got off. Yeah, to keep the number. Yeah. And that's the only way around. That everything's a battle. You've got to keep on top of it. It's ridiculous.
See, that's where AI could help. AI cameras on the bus could keep track of people so that the bus driver doesn't have to do it. There's a great use of using AI.
There is, but should AI be open to the public?
AI is meant to be a tool.
It is, but should it be open to the public? Because I think that's the biggest problem with AI. We have opened it to the masses, and whilst the likes of us would use it for the right, you know, making a funny picture or something.
That's been
There are people.
The downside to AI all along is the bad people feeding bad data.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes, Joe has worked out the lithophane and he's on it.
Yeah. They're
How
looking
many
good.
printed now? 4? 5?
I've got about 4 or 5. That's the latest one. I don't know if
You know
you'll be able to
the,
get it.
have you got a light yet for the box? The box
It's
one?
coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, if you've got a torchlight on your phone, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, but yeah, just shine your torchlight into that box.
It's too bright. I tried.
Oh, is it?
Does that printer ever stop printing, Joe?
No.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think it does. I think every time I see you, that
No,
printer's still
Joe's
running.
right.
So I don't think it ever gets a break.
Yeah, it stops. Yeah, he takes the bed off.
Then it starts.
Off. He puts it back on and it's off. Away you go.
Exactly. It's off to the next printing the next thing.
I reckon when he goes to bed, there's a little sensor on that somewhere. As soon as it stops, it's like beep 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 beep, and he's in there swapping it over quick.
Yeah.
How much filament have you gone through?
I've actually only gone through one spool.
Only one?
One. Actually, when you put it all together, probably about 2.
Yeah.
I'm doing different spools and different things. But the white, I'm getting ready to go through the whole one.
I nearly cried today. I got an email from Bamboo to say my order had been cancelled. And I was like, no. It turned out it was that fake company that, are just messing me around.
Mm.
They're not giving me my money back, so. But yeah, I panicked thinking, am I going to get my printer?
Yeah.
So
I'd
you're
ordered
not going to get the printer?
No, I am. It was the other company, the one that scammed me. Yeah,
Okay.
that won't give me my money back. Yeah, it was them sending me an email to say my order had been cancelled on my request and there was no refund available. But I just saw the message. It said, Bamboo, your printer has been cancelled. Yeah, so my heart was going.
How much money did the first company get out of you?
469.
So who do you report that to?
Brought it to the bank. The bank said it's a legit company and that I cancelled it, so it's my fault. At that point, I hadn't cancelled it. I just reported it that they hadn't sent me my item, and there was no tracking.
Why don't you get your money back?
The company is not legit as they claim. Yeah, it's a fraudulent company, and I only used them thinking I was going to save, 60 quid. Yeah, biggest mistake. Yeah, I might as well just paid that extra 60 quid and got it direct from Bamboo and be done with it, which is what I've done now. I've gone direct to Bamboo and said, you send it me.
Well, isn't there some kind of a Better Business Bureau or somebody that will protect you?
Action Fraud we have, and you report it, and all they do is they give you a crime number. And you can then, if you have insurance, you can go to your insurance company. But most insurance companies under £1,000 would just look at you and go, nah.
Hey, David, I got an idea for you. Report them to Bamboo. Because if they're sourcing from Bamboo,
They're using Bamboo.
Bamboo will fucking cut their legs off.
Well,
in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's been reported to Bamboo because one of the things that I noticed was when I saw the company, it said it was in Milton Keynes. Yeah, now I know Bamboo is in Milton Keynes. Yeah, so I thought they're just one of them reseller things.
Mm-hmm.
But I've since found that Bamboo actually are very strict on who can sell their printers.
Well, and
some places are.
And don't you think, Rod, he should directly talk to them at Bamboo?
I would.
Yeah, they may turn around and be nice enough to say, hey, we'll help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I've done. Yeah, and that's why Bamboo have not put me to the front of the queue, but they are saying that it will be shipped on Tuesday and it should be with me either Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, but
but you need to be talking to them
did you
about
discuss with-
decertifying them as a
Did you
as a vendor.
discuss with Bamboo that you've been bamboozled by somebody using their name?
Yes, but like Bamboo said, they can't help third party companies, and they were the ones that said, go to your bank, go to Action Fraud. They even gave me a letter to give to the bank to say that is not a recognized retailer, and the bank is saying this company's had no history of fraud or whatever. Well, that's the thing. A new company can set up at any time and they've got no history of fraud.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean
exactly.
they're not doing it.
Well,
it's a
let
lesson.
me make you feel. Let me make you feel better.
Makes you
I
wonder
moved to
where
Ca-
they're sourcing their printers from.
They're not sourcing them. That's the point.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I moved
Joe.
to
Sorry.
California in 1997, right before Justin was born. I had a job. I was working in the mortgage business, and I went to work for Pacific Coast Mortgage Company. And they brought me in and said, look, we like your history, where you work with Common Point. We'll let you come in and be an originator. You get all these percentages when all this stuff. They're going to pay you $3,000 a month, no matter if you make a sale or not, but you got it. If you don't make three months in a row sales, you know, you're not going to have the job, basically, right? So
Yeah.
I was 6 weeks into the job. I had 68 loans in the queue, ready to go. Actually, it was 27 loans in the queue, ready to go to close. Got called in and got fired. They said they were regrouping the company. They didn't like the way my ethic was and everything like this. And I didn't know what to do because I'm out there now. I got paid $3,000, but I'm out there. What I'm going to do, right? Found out that even though I'm a loan originated with them, when you originate the loan, you still, if they fire you, they still owe you the money. The commissions came out to $69,000. They changed the company's name to not have to pay me.
That happens all the time over here.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Amount of times you see companies, they're selling the gift cards. So
Right.
especially around Christmas, and you see all these little shops pop up, and everyone's going, "Ooh, get a gift card," and they all rush and buy gift cards. But by Christmas Day, they're gone, and all them gift cards are in Christmas cards and presents. Yeah, and then the people go, "Ooh," and got nothing. You've just got a cheap
Yep.
piece of plastic.
Now the thing is that the guy that was the sole proprietorship of this business, his social security number was on there. So if he ever opens up another business in the United States, they go after him.
Well,
Yeah.
here's an interesting point that Mark White was making.
Yes, it was.
Did you pay for it with a Visa card or a
It was a-
MasterCard?
Right, before we go any further, it was a Visa debit card, not a Visa credit card.
Doesn't make any difference. Visa's the name
no, no.
is on it.
In the UK, Visa, any credit card. Now, what we call a credit card, I think, is what you call a debit card.
Yep.
Yeah, your bank card. You have to have money in your account to spend it.
Yeah.
Right. But we have a credit card where you don't have the money, but the bank will loan you the money to buy the item, and then you pay it back over so long. Yeah, as long as you've got that credit card.
Yeah, that's a credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have that facility. I do have a debit card, which is what the thing.
Did you contact Visa?
Not Visa. You can't in the UK. We can't contact Visa direct. You have to go through your bank.
What?
Yeah, because it's not issued by Visa over here. It's issued by your bank.
Does it have a Visa symbol on the card?
Has a Visa symbol. I think it does.
Should.
It should do. Yeah.
If it does,
Potentially,
have that,
Visa
that's-
could decertify them so that they can't use
Yeah.
Visa
Exactly.
products.
The problem is Visa are not going to go to the Halifax and go, "You ain't using our service anymore," because the Halifax make them a shed load of money. Yeah. However, there are laws in place. If you can guarantee and prove it's fraud, yeah, they will then give you the money back. However, what's happened in my case is because of the amount, the bank have gone to the company and said, this order been placed, and I've even had to give them the email with the order stuff. Yeah, the company said yes, and they've given them a tracking number. Now, when I track that tracking number, it still says it's ready to be shipped. Doesn't say it's been shipped, it says it's ready to be shipped. So the bank is saying there is still a possibility I can receive it. Yeah. But we now know we're not going to receive it. All right. Because the company, even today, said they've cancelled the order on my say so. And in their terms and conditions, there's a no refund policy, which I'm not sure how they're going to get away with.
That whole thing sounds fake to me.
Yeah. But the point is, as much as we're talking to the bank and the bank are talking to them, that company is going to keep feeding the bank crap. Yeah. They're going to say to the bank, no, it's not.
It'll get to the point where either the bank or Visa, if you get Visa involved,
yes,
are going to say to that company, take care of this guy or else we're going to screw you over big time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
in most cases, it normally pretty quick. I don't know why on this one, the bank have gone the route they've gone. Yeah. Because most times, like you said, if I went to Amazon and bought something and it was a pile of crap, yeah, and Amazon go, no, we're not giving you your money back, I can ring the bank and go, it's a pile of crap. Can you send us a picture of that? Can you send us a receipt? Yep, there you go. And then they give you the money back and then they talk to Amazon. But Amazon's a reputable company, yeah? So to Amazon, they'll just hold up their hands and go, yep, well, our mistake. You know, I've already had the money back. They pay back the bank. Yeah. This company, for whatever reason, are fighting it because I've never known a fraudulent people fight something so much. Yeah. You'd think they'd go, this guy's not going to give up. Just give him his money back.
Well, to me, Joe and Rod, don't you think that since he paid for it with a guaranteed Visa debit card?
No. It's not a guarantee. Debit cards over here are not a guarantee.
No. That's not true.
It's got Visa on the logo.
If it has the logo on it,
you're talking about Visa in the US.
Is guaranteeing that card.
You're talking about Visa in the US.
No, I'm talking about worldwide.
On our terms, it says they will guarantee the money to the business, yeah, but on the terms that the money is in our account.
I think you're getting double talked and you're buying into it. Don't buy into it.
We can't directly talk. There's no number for Visa in the UK. I can't go, hi, Visa, this has happened to me. I go through my bank and they talk to Visa. Like I said, normally, this should have gone down this route. I order it, doesn't get shipped. There's a problem after a couple of weeks. Something's wrong. I ring the bank. I say, I think I've been fraudulently. Normally, they would go, okay, we will give you the money back. But if we find out in the future that you shouldn't have claimed the money back, we take it back off you. That's what normally happens. But for some reason, the bank have gone a different route on this one. They've gone, we will talk to the company on your behalf. And the company have obviously made their excuses. There must be a point, and I'm hoping very soon, because, like I said, I've had to save up and reorder, yeah, from Bamboo Direct. But I'm hoping at a point in the next couple of weeks, months, that the bank will go, right, Mr. Ledbetter is not giving up. Yeah. Yeah. It's 44
127449 5970.
A couple of,
that's Visa and immigration.
Oh, visas, immigration visas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, David, in the U.S., yeah, the banks are issuing it. It's still by Visa, and Visa can step in and stomp on those guys. Couple of things. You've called the bank, right?
Yeah.
I'd go walk into the bank. It's a little easier to probably talk to the bank manager because the bank manager,
you see,
you standing in front of his face is going to be a lot more on your side versus a phone
That's
call.
another point. Over here now, the banks are being closed down quite quite rapidly. However, you don't get to go and speak to the bank manager anymore unless you're, you got the Wonga behind you. Yeah, you talk to
Yeah, well, go in and
the
yell and
person behind the
scream.
counter.
The
Yeah, but
squeaky
all
wheel
they do now, all they will do is go, you need to ring this number, and they give you the number to ring. They will even ring that number for you and give you the hand over the handset and say, you talk to him here. They do that.
And one other thing,
they won't get involved.
Considering all the cameras you got over there, have you looked at that company's address? And does it look like it's a building that could actually store product and ship product?
And anyone that knows Milton Keynes will know it is a factory nightmare. There's factories everywhere, Milton Keynes. It's a new.
I would still look at their specific address.
Hopefully, yeah, the bank are going to understand I'm not giving up. Yeah, this company should understand I'm not giving up, but hopefully I will get my money back. At this moment in time, I will keep fighting it. I'll keep ringing them. I'll keep playing with them and telling them, I want my money back, want my money back, want my money back.
David, do you see what it says here?
Yeah, you see, look, you've got again the Visa office, Tavistock, Hudson House, Tavistock Square. That is not the Visa you're talking about. That's a Google
number to contact Visa card customer service in the UK. If so, you can try calling 0278368505.
Yeah. Now ring that number +44. You won't get through to anyone. It will tell you to contact your bank. If you look underneath, you see underneath you've got Barclaycard, and then you got Unique Visa Services, which is Manchester, Regent Visas, and you've got HM Passport Office. You see what I mean? Google is muddling up all these visas. Yeah. Well, it's not Google, is that? It's Bing. It's muddling up. Because over here as well, you got Visa card. You have your Visa, which we know, the bank card and everything. But if you're from another country, you will have a Visa card. Yeah, which means you're right to stay in the UK. And I think that's where it's confusing it.
Hey, David, do yourself a favor. Go use Google whatever. Use Street View. Go to their address. Maybe it's a freaking empty building. If you can prove to the bank that, hello, their actual business address is a boarded up piece of crap. They're not even legit.
It's actually quite a nice building, actually, unfortunately. But like I said, all I have to do is bide my time. They will give up. They will give up.
Yeah.
Everyone knows me and Amazon. Yeah. Have I ever given up with Amazon? Hell no. Yeah. And I ain't giving up with a bank either. I've done them on Twitter.
And Mark White made an interesting point. He says, when you called Halifax, did you speak to the fraud department?
Yeah, the fraud department. It's actually as well with the bank, yeah, as well as the fraud department and what they're doing. I've actually made it a formal complaint. So there's the bank is looking at it in two ways. My complaint, hey guys, you're doing this wrong. What's going on? Yeah, that takes up to 8 weeks. So I think I've got about 4 weeks left of that. And then you've got the fraud department, which is what Mark's saying. You ring them up. I've been defrauded. You know what? It's stupid, right? If I get a takeaway, right, from Just Eat, I can just ring my bank up and go, I didn't order that, and they give you the money back. Yeah? I mean, it's only poxy amount, yeah, but they'll give it you back. But yeah, when you've been genuinely defrauded, yeah, you have to jump through hoops. It's ridiculous. I have to prove what's happened. Yeah, I have to prove that they are not sending that item. And well, they've got me a tracking number that says it's coming. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, I'll get the tracking number, I think.
Well, I feel bad for you. I don't like to see anybody get screwed over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I said, Paul, you know me. I don't give up. I ain't giving up. They're not going to win.
I'll fight.
I wonder if it's only you,
It can't be.
or I don't know how you would find out if other customers.
That's the other
were
problem.
off on it.
How
But
do you find out?
usually things show up on Facebook, Reddit. If there's
Nothing
any
actually
sort
shows up
of
on them.
customer forum, whatever, just do a search on them and bad customer service or something like that and see if anybody has mentioned something about them somewhere.
Right. Do that.
Usually I'd start searching around to see if I could see if somebody else had a similar experience and was talking about it somewhere. Facebook
it's-
would be
you know,
one
what you
place
want-
that they
what you
might
want to
talk
find
about.
out if you're the Lone Ranger or if there's a whole pack of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the problem, finding that information out. But this is what my tracking says.
We're expecting it. What's that mean?
It means the Royal Mail are expecting it because they've generated a tracking number. They've paid a tracking number. They've paid it. Yeah.
Well, Royal Mail is a government institution. What you do is you call them and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
No, Royal Mail's a private company now. It's been privatized.
Oh, really?
But
Well, is it insured?
it's not insured by me. It'll be insured by the sender.
Right.
But it's still insured. Your name's on it.
Somebody needs to get the money for it.
But if you look, it says Tuesday, the 9th of January, 2024, 1805, sender has dispatched item. And then it actually says there, more information will be available once we've received your item and it's scanned into our network.
Yeah,
This
it just means they generated a number. It doesn't mean they handed them the
generated
box.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why the bank is saying, no, we're not giving you your money back just yet because this is they're saying I can still receive it. Yeah. But 9th of January, what we on now?
18th.
It ain't coming. It isn't coming. Let's be honest. That is not moving. So what can you do?
Hey, Steve, how you doing, Carpenter?
What can you do? Just argue and argue and argue with them. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes I say things in America are pretty wrong. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, fucking seriously wrong over here. As much as I try to defend my country, there are wills and ways. I've spoken to the police, Mark. It's civil matter at the moment. Report it to Action Fraud, get a number, give it to your bank, so on. The police will only get involved once Action Fraud have finished their investigation and proved that it's fraud. Which, in other words, is you ain't speeding, you ain't parked on double yellow lines, it's no easy money, piss off. Which is how it is in the UK.
Well, yeah, they probably want you to go away, don't they?
That's all they want me to do. They want me to go away. All of them want me to go away, but I won't. You know what? Tomorrow morning, I wake up and the first thing I do is I dial a number. I ring the bank. Have I got an update yet? Yeah. And then the bank will say, no. Can I speak to your fraud department? They're not going to give you any more information. I'll still speak to them. I have that row, you know. Can I speak to a manager? No, there's no manager available. Yes, there is. There's a call center. There's always a manager somewhere. Yeah. And then eventually they get bored with you, put you through to the fraud department. The fraud department give you the same spiel round and round. But if I keep doing it, yeah, it should prove that I'm committed to getting my money back. And hopefully the bank will just go, you know what, guys? He's just going to keep ringing up every day. Just give him his freaking money back. Well, I ring them on a Sunday as well. So, and they got the spiel, you know, you can't speak to a manager and that. And then the fraud department's not open on a Sunday. Well, it bloody well should be.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. I mean, you guys must have something like the Better Business Bureau. I wonder how that company is rated.
It's no, it's not Better Business Bureau. We call it. We have
Yeah, your equivalent thereof.
yeah, it's trading standards and action fraud. Trading standards don't. It's a bit of a farce, right? It's a national thing, trading standards. However, they deal with you on a local level. Now, me ringing my local council for trading standards, say I've done this. It's just one case. With me here in Essex, it's one case to the local Basildon trading standards. However, because they've localized it into little sections, they won't know that Southend's got a case and Plymouth has got 4 cases. Manchester,
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a pay. Eventually, someone will put everything together, and this company will, But I've got more of a feeling the company itself will just disappear off the planet. Yeah, more than likely, if it is as fraudulent as I think it is.
How long has it existed? When did it incorporate?
Put it this way. Unfortunately, look at that.
That looks good, Joe.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you buy something, the first thing you don't go checking that company on Company's House. If I had done, yeah, I'd have found out it isn't there.
I mean, you should be able to look up when they filed their business license to
That's
form
the
the
point.
company.
There's nothing there. Because if I go Company's House, right.
So you can't find a business license for them?
Well, company.
Boy, I'd take that to the bank in a hurry.
Yeah.
They don't exist. Their business license doesn't exist.
See,
They're
when I
obviously a
type
scam.
when I type in the name Bamboo Direct UK and then put Company's House, I've got to put a space, so that might do it. It only comes up with Bamboo Limited Company's House, and that's registered in Yorkshire. And then it's got Bamboo 95 Limited. Yeah, there's no actual Bamboo Direct UK. Yeah, which is what fooled me. Bamboo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, Bamboo should go after him just for trademark.
You think so?
Yeah.
He probably will. I mean,
because they're using their name, and they got nothing to do with them. I could see Bamboo going after them on trademark.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I don't know what Bamboo are going to do. I can speak to Bamboo. I mean, I spoke to Bamboo quite a bit of times, asking them questions. They're probably going to get pretty much annoyed with me asking them for technical, queries. How do I get the camera to go onto YouTube? They're probably going, just go and fucking search
Normally you can. There are databases. I've looked companies up here in Florida, and I can literally see when they were formed and who's on the board and all that paperwork that they filed with the state of Florida to be a business. So if you can't find that documentation for them, I would freaking take that to the bank and go, you know what? They've never filed to be a business, so they're obviously a scam.
Yeah, but like I said, the bank won't do what we expect the bank to do. They don't seem to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't know what they're doing in the background. How do I know they're not holding me? Yeah, because they
need leverage over them.
Yeah, they need me
Could be.
Keep fighting to hit them.
Yeah, and it could be.
Yeah.
There's always that chance.
Horse is completely dead and Paul. Well, you're right there, JD.
But if you can't find when they registered the business, yeah, I'd definitely tell the bank that one.
Yeah, but the problem is, like I said, when you order something, that's not the first thing you go thinking.
Oh no, obviously.
And unfortunately, and I'm going to admit to another mistake. Yeah, I got Bamboo Direct UK from Facebook. The sponsored little.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I've been suckered, haven't I? Really.
Some of those fly-by-night operations, it's not unusual for them to buy a little bit of advertising just to generate a little business, grab what money they can, and then poof, they're gone
Well, that's a good point. Mark.
before the cops can chase them down.
Yeah, like I said, let's see. Like I said, I don't know what Bamboo are doing behind closed doors. I've told them, yeah, they've, you know, I don't want to say too much, but you know,
Bamboo can go after them on trademark violations.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
flat
gonna-
out using they're flat out using their name, and they're flat out trying to sell their products, and they're literally not a legitimate
Yeah.
reseller of Bamboo. I don't know why Bamboo wouldn't like
But
zero
Bamboo-
in on them hard.
yeah, but Bamboo won't discuss that with me. What they're going to do, are they? Yeah,
No, they're not going to tell you, but
Exactly.
very behind the scenes, their lawyers could be calling those guys up and
Exactly.
going, you know what? Yeah,
And
we're gonna come after you. Whatever money
could be
you
the other reason.
scammed, you're gonna lose all of it.
but that could be the other reason why the bank are not paying me back. Are they using me to hold
be.
on to this company
Yeah,
to
it could be.
because they got a trace on them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
because
be.
again, action fraud don't deal with individual cases, and nor do trading standards. They don't link everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just one of those.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it because who's coming on next?
Ken Herring.
Ken's coming-
Ben Heron is
Ben
coming on in a minute. So
Yeah.
everybody, hey, have a good one. David, let us know how it works out.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll put it this way: next week, yeah, I'm going to be like Joe. I'm going to have a webcam. I'm going to have a printer in the background, and I'm going to be printing.
There you go.
Only
Okay.
printing bird stuff, not landfill stuff.
Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks, Rod.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Joe, we'll see you. And David, good luck.
Yeah.
Bye,
Cheers,
bye
guys.
for now.
Bye.